Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man proudly presents another episode of, you know what it is, man. It's Collectors Lounge International on Sunday. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are out there right now, man. I mean, again, it's our day to live up to responsibility. But at the same time, we wear this like a badge of honor. I said this earlier. It's not a job. It is a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that I welcome. I have two beautiful, actually, now, as a matter of fact, if you want to keep it a stack, I have 6 beautiful children, counting Toya's children, that are completely amazing. All daughters. I know, no sons, all daughters, but I wouldn't trade the experience for the world, because they are amazing children. They have so many different personalities, and I love that they're idealists. But as a father and as a father figure, I get a chance to live with that responsibility, and then sometimes they ground me. So again, all the fathers out there, even if you don't basically have children of your own, but you're responsible for other children out there, you are still a father. I said this earlier, if you have collectibles, if you have figures in your collection right now, you are dusting off those figures, you are taking care of those figures, you are doing so many different things that makes you a father, because you are taking care of these figures, man. That's what it's all about. But so glad to actually have you here with us. We got a show. We're going to talk about a couple of things, a couple of heavy topics too. I got one of my dear friends, man, that every time I see him, it makes me miss the London and the European experience. I got my bro back, bro. So if I'm a bit emotional today, don't mind me, because he's back and I get a chance to talk to him, man. So I can't wait to talk to him much more. Yes, we got the pimp in here, man. Even though he's on the road, he's just be pimping all the time. So anyway, we got him in here as well. So thank you guys for being here with us, man. Before we dip in, I got to say what's up to everybody, man. Everybody in the chat. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all doing today? Yo, good? Yo,
They're
good?
all good. They're all good.
All good.
Living the dream.
Living a dream, man, as always. One person that's excited. I'm gonna get to him in just a second because some news came out yesterday. So we gonna get to him in just a second. Yeah. Ben, everybody, this
I'm gonna try and match Calvin's cool.
You gotta try to match that. Ben, we got Ben in the building, the original OG of Collectors Lounge, back in the building. Ready. I can see that you are properly ready here for a couple of weeks here when we get Superman on the main screen, bro. I cannot wait to go check that. Look up. You already know what it is. It's exciting, man. How you doing today, bro?
I am good. I feel like the ghost of Christmas past right now. Yeah, do not adjust your screen sets. I am real. It feels great to be back. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get into why I'm back, and maybe why I went away for quite a long time. But it's just great to be.
How was
here
prison,
and. You know what? It was hard. The soap on my first day, which was a mistake. But then I kept dropping it because I quite liked it. But so it's good. It's good. I mean, it's just surreal, to be honest. Like, I kind of only made this decision this morning, and I said to my wife, like, I should drop Leo a message and see if he'll have me, and he's having me.
If I have you.
So I'm very grateful, and happy Father's Day. A big shout out as well, because today is a difficult day for people that might not necessarily be able to kind of give their love to their father. So shout out to those people and all the father figures as well. Cat daddies, dog daddies. I believe daddy is a bit of a term on the internet for another reason as well. So
shout out.
Yeah, I should stop now before I say something
You already
to get
know,
this
man.
channel
You got a whole bunch of
cancelled.
people here. So happy to see you back, bro. So definitely shout out, man. And so glad to have you here with us, man. We're going to definitely talk about a couple of things here in just a few moments. We also got the therapist in the building. We got Press X to continue, man. What is going on with you, bro?
Oh, living the dream. What can I say? No, thanks so much for having me. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there you're putting in the work, you're putting in the efforts to make sure that your kids, anyone you know is having a great childhood. And so father figures, thank you for everything that you do, because it does matter, it does count, and it does make a huge difference. So thank you to all those who are putting in the good work. I myself am not a father, although on more than one occasion I have been called daddy, but we'll get to that later. So good to be here. So good to be here. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day. And thank you so much for having me.
Bro, you already know, man. Appreciate having you.
Could you get right here, please?
We also have none other than Chewy's bandolier in the building, bro. Look at him. He's like, what the fuck?
Taking a turn.
I don't know how to follow that up. I don't think I can. But I mean, hey, to each their own. But happy Father's Day to everybody. It doesn't get said enough, I think, how important a good father is. And for everybody out there that like X said, everyone that's putting in the work, everyone that's doing everything they do for their kids, you are a champion. And we salute you today and every day. So happy Father's Day to all.
Definitely, bro.
And I'm happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you here, man. As always, it's definitely appreciated. And I think is Calvin back in his truck? I got to see what he's doing. I think he's back in his truck right now, or we got Calvin. What's going on with you, brother? What you doing, man?
This ain't that truck. This is my other.
This is it. Okay. This is the luxury, right?
Yeah, this is
not big boy, but big boy.
Oh, the not big boy, but the big boy.
Now my Bluetooth's all messed up.
What's going on with you, bro?
I'm good, man. Haven't seen Ben. That was a hell of a shock right there. I'm happy to see that one.
Yeah, you already know, man. Haven't been in here, bro. It's been a minute, man. So I'm glad to basically have my bro back in the building. And Calvin, we're gonna get into a discussion here a little bit, because I know you was like, finally, like a motherfucker, bro. We got the news that we have been waiting for last night. So I know you were super excited about that, bro, as well. So definitely we will be talking about that here actually shortly, as always, man. But definitely thank you for being here as always, man. And thank you guys, everybody out there, for definitely being here with us, man. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. We're going to definitely try to cover it in a timely manner, because I don't want to keep everybody's Father's Day festivities off limits here. We want to make sure that we actually make sure that you have a great day today. Now, before we jump in, of course, as I do each and every week, got to pay homage to the places where we get these figures from, man. Starting off with my man, Ray over there at Underground Figures. That's Underground Ray. If you were looking for the latest and greatest, he got it. No NRD, shipping handling is definitely reasonable. On top of that, sign up for newsletters so you are always up to date as to when your figure is going to be arriving or a new figure is basically released. On top of that, make sure, as a matter of fact, hold on. As a matter of fact, make sure that you actually create yourself an account, because you never know when there might be a new figure of choice that you can actually get yourself linked to. On top of that, we got to give a super duper shout out to our guy, Hawk Wars Toys. That's Hawk Wars Ray. As always, man, making sure that you have the latest and greatest, not just the figures you're looking for, but a nice little care package. Hit him up. He'll definitely take care of you, as he always does, because he's good like that. He's cool like that. So we definitely want to hit him up. And just, again, he's the proud sponsor currently right now of the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. So we definitely want to hit him up. Also, got to give a super duper shout out to our guy, over there at Maju Case Maju Space. That is my man, Brian Wong. Again, making sure that you have everything that you need to proceed when it comes to collect your collection. A nice little display. I have that mono. You might actually be able to get the display of your choice. So hit him up, he'll take care of you. Tell him I sent you. Got to give a super duper shout out to our guy, Jacob over there at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. It's not just about the comics. Also source material, but you also get figures from him. So hit him up. He'll take care of you as he always does. Last but not least, got to give a super duper shout out to my sister, Tina Cruz over there at El Diluvio. If you were looking for those figures of choice, hit her up and she'll definitely take care of you as always. If she's especially making sure that you have your figures rooted, giving that nice little rooted experience, taking you from here to here. So definitely hit her up if she got you. Now, before we dip in, because like I said, I mean, we do want to talk about, just a couple of things. But Ben, we had this discussion earlier. I wanted to bring you in here. We had this discussion earlier about collecting and the experience of collecting and how influential it can be, but also give people just because me and X were going to have this conversation, but give people just an idea of the reasons why you felt there's a need that you had to kind of bow out for a while and what brought you back in.
Yeah, so I mean, just a bit of context. I tend to have mental breakdowns every 3 years, I think, annually. Wait, that's not annual. I tend to do this, but I do think that my collecting habits massively contributed to the one that I had about a year ago. So I got into hot toys and collecting, as with a lot of people during lockdown and stuff. And I just fell in love with it for all the reasons that I'm sure everybody in the chat fell in love with it. The realism, the representation of your favorite characters, films, whatever it may be. And it was just so much fun. I kind of my channel steered into the kind of reviewing realm, even though my videos were rubbish compared to others. But I had fun doing unboxings, things like that. I started doing live streams. I started streaming here on yours truly's channel. And I became part of the community, and it was all very good. But very kind of gradually and steadily, things started to not be as fun. So there was some things behind the scenes in terms of kind of, I guess, relationships on YouTube and stuff like that kind of did sour things for me slightly, I think, in terms of the community element. And I know. Yeah. I know drama happens, and there's been there's always pockets of drama going on, and I think naturally as people, it's sometimes you will get on with someone for a little while, something might happen, it might sour that relationship. It happens, but that aside, but that did kind of I guess kind of taint things a little bit for me from the community perspective. But in terms of my collection, so I'm someone that absolutely loves your kind of your B-list characters, your Z-list characters, the kind of background guys. And there's a lot of them in the franchises that I love, Star Wars, Marvel. And we kind of in a realm where if Hot Toys aren't making a figure, chances are a third-party company will be making a figure. And I was just collecting kind of for the sake of collecting. So there were characters that I absolutely had to have, and there's one character that has kind of brought me back into it today that we'll talk about that I absolutely had to have. But then I was getting characters that I maybe didn't absolutely have to have, just because they were the iconic character. And it's not, I was getting them just because I felt, you have to have them. If you've got a Star Wars collection, you have to have that character. If you've got a Marvel collection, you have to have that character represented. And that was kind of, I think, the wrong reasons. Also, I'm someone that, I live with an anxiety and depressive disorder. So I have to be very careful with kind of what I'm juggling in terms of responsibilities at work, finances, stuff like that, because it will make things harder. And I got to a place, like in terms of my credit card and stuff like that, if I need to spend a certain amount on it and then pay that off every single month, because otherwise I get into this really kind of toxic relationship with my credit card where it kind of, I'm chipping away at it every month, but it's never actually getting down to zero. And that means that every single month I've kind of got this little bit of kind of anxiety about that not being at zero. And at least if it's, a couple of £100 on payday, I pay it off, then I'm at zero for a few weeks or whatever, and it makes me kind of feel a bit better about life. And I was getting into this kind of bad relationship with that as well. So, and also I did start to become quite frustrated, because whilst I said that I love the Z-list characters and the B-list characters, and most companies are making those characters, there's also a lot of characters that aren't being made that should be being made. And I did find myself becoming quite frustrated with the hobby. So there were the Suicide Squad, for example. Hot Toys makes a King Shark, and then nobody else. And even the third-party companies would, were able to represent Polka Dot Man and Bloodsport, but then we didn't have Harley in her dress, and I know we've got Harley now coming, but we didn't have her specifically in that kind of final dress look, which I was desperate for. So the Suicide Squad was just a prime example. Ratcatcher 2 we never got from anyone. So I started to have these teams that were like never going to get finished, and then I was kind of looking at my collection and going, not feeling happy, not feeling content with it, and it was frustrating. So I actually, for all my kind of, I guess, personality faults, I do tend to, if I become overwhelmed with a situation, or if I'm not enjoying something, I just leave it. I just cut it off kind of at the head, so to speak. And that's kind of what I did with the hobby. So I'd already kind of stepped away from sort of streaming and stuff like that. And then I decided just to kind of just get rid of my channel as well, because I was also in that kind of negative relationship with my own channel and becoming frustrated with that. And I just kind of cut everything off at the head, really. And honestly, I've been a lot better for it. I made the executive decision to start collecting, and I'm looking at my wall now, Lego minifigures and Lego minifigures, because and it's honestly, it's been incredible, because I can almost get every single person that I would want. And if they're not out there, the joy of a Lego minifigure is you can kind of kit bash stuff quite easily and say, oh yeah, I'll take the hairpiece from that, I'll get that, and you can kind of create these little custom pieces, fairly inexpensively, and then I'm kind of scratching that itch, because ultimately with Hot Toys, I got to a point where like you'd order a Hot Toy in, you'd get it, you'd have your unboxing experience and that joy and that dopamine for 2 hours, whatever it may be, you pose it, and then it kind of just goes and then and I'm like, well, if I'm doing that for 300-400 quid, I might as well do it for £4 and feel that same joy for an hour in a Lego minifigure, and I just love it. Like I've got all my teams kind of represented, all the kind of weird obscure characters. I've like kit bashed an Addams Family, Jumanji figures. Like it's just been a lot of fun, to be honest. But I did make a video on my YouTube that's not there. Nothing's there anymore. I've erased all memory of my existence. But I did make a video right before I shut everything down, where I was like, the Hot Toys that will draw me back in. And one of those Hot Toys
was Kid Fisto.
And here we are. I come crawling back like an ex-girlfriend knocking at Lael's door saying, let me in for a bit of fun.
You already know.
So
but you know what, and thank you for that, bro. I definitely appreciate you kind of sharing that with us, man, because it makes it makes so much sense that you would. I'm sorry, I got to get this basically back in order because sometimes it's done. Here we go. It makes so much sense because now that you've done it and you come back, it's giving you a newfound perspective on how you want to curate your collection. On how now, okay, I can start with this, I can build around this, but I don't have to bounce around so many different IPs, you know, because at the end of the day, the responsibility is yours on how you kind of curate your collection, how you also kind of curate your sanity in a sense. You know what I mean? Because when you're spread too thin with so many different things, bro, because you know what, that level and what I've really understand, and Toya can tell you, the frustration of dealing with this space can also dwindle off into your personal life to the point that you're kind of taking things out on people that you shouldn't, or you're disassociating yourself from relationships and friendships and things that are of a level of importance. And you don't realize where a lot of it is actually coming from. You know what I mean? And how, look, it starts with the community. As much as we love the community, you also have to love yourself first. You have to love family first. And it's not a safe space all the time. We see how critical things can be with the relationships that you form on, you know, within this particular space. Man, you know, I've had friends, I've lost friends, you know, within this community and this collecting space for reasons that I really don't understand. But I'm just like, you know what? We have to understand, just like in reality, sometimes it's rhyme or reason or for a season. You know what I mean? And sometimes these relationships are seasonal. And it, you know, when you have, but at the same time, you got to be very supportive of those who say, hey, right now I just have to step away. Right now, it's not for me. It's just not my season. It's not a space that I need to be in right now. It's pure, it's a space where I cannot deal with these things right now. It's not to say that I won't be back. It's just that right now I need to kind of sit back and recharge, reload, and think about things more clear. And what you did, honestly, it's taking it back to and I always say the golden age of collecting, where you start with that one, and then you're responsibly building around that within the IP and making it more fun. Because then you can actually just say, you know what, I want to get this, but I don't have to wait a year. Or, you know what I mean? It can be just this one that I want that I'm collecting. Once it's released, the anticipation is there again. And I don't have to worry about multiple figures coming and spreading myself thin. You know what I mean? So that's honestly what you did wasn't, and I hope you understand what you did was commendable from a lot of us, because a lot of us feel that way, but you were the one that said, fuck it, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I'm doing it. And whatever happens after that happens. I'll be back on my own time collecting miniatures, but you still were collecting, you know, even if it was the Lego minis, you're still basically collecting something that fulfills a certain enjoyment in your life, bro. So that's definitely to be commended. It was we were talking about this. It was crazy how you were like, look, we need to have a therapy session because Ben, you don't understand, bro. We're seeing this every day, bro. People that are saying, you know what, I'm done. People that are basically taking their collections, they're selling it off. You see it every day. I try my best not to look at it because when you look at what people are doing, you're like, damn, like this is really becoming more of an epidemic than anything. Calvin even, said, look, if it gets to a point, fuck it. I'll just go back to doing what I was doing previously. You know what I mean? I have other things that are of importance or would bring me joy. When we start looking at it that way, then it should and again, they're known because business is business. We already know that. And I'm not knocking anybody's business, but a lot of these companies should start looking at it like, wait a minute, we're sort of like, we're not getting that transaction we would normally get. We're not getting a lot of those transactions. I know Sideshow right now is suffering because a lot of people are canceling orders. You're seeing more conversions when it comes to waitlist than you have before. There's a lot of conversions coming through, and even those conversions aren't being fulfilled because people are like, wrong timing.
Yeah,
let me pass it on to somebody else. And then when those conversions aren't fulfilled, what happens? You start seeing those old figures or figures that were basically we thought were in purgatory, we wouldn't be able to get them again. They're up, and they're up for sale, or they're up to for people to purchase. So
And that was the other thing, that pre-order culture was really getting to me, because you pre-order something and then you're constantly feel like you're looking over your shoulder, like, when's it going to drop? I'm not ready this month for that to drop, and that isn't fun, to kind of have that feeling. So and yet I've pre-ordered something as well.
But you pre-ordered one thing that you can keep an eye on.
A solo piece for the living room, right? That will be a family thing. And I've got very, very strict rules with Kit Fisto and who will be joining him now. So.
Exactly, bro. That's the way it should be.
6 months later, you'll see me with like a bunch of Moji cases, statues like Calvin's got, and I'll be like, what have I done?
Before, because I do want to say what's up to the chat. Calvin, I want to go to you real quick, man. I know you kind of busy, but you give you a minute. Give you a minute. All right, I'll come back to you, because I know you got some things going on.
I wish I looked that good from that angle.
You said give him a minute. But X, what inspired you, bro, to reach out and say, yo? Because I had been thinking about it, but I was like, all right, having the right people on board to really have these discussions is just like timing. And you brought it up. You were like, yo, I think we need to start having this discussion, because I'm starting to see it here. What sparked it for what sparked the idea for you, bro?
So there was a Instagram video of a fellow collector who mentioned that he was selling everything and leaving everything behind, stepping away from the hobby, selling everything. And I could see how emotional this person was getting. And anytime I see a video like that, it does make me stop and question what I'm doing. Because we get on a bit of an autopilot, so to speak. The pre-orders, the figures, the pre-orders, the figures, the pre-orders, the figures. You wake up every day, you check your phone. What was announced today? What's the new hotness? What's going to get us excited? And seeing someone hit pause, and not just pause, but like a scorched earth kind of situation where it's like, I need to just step away from all of this, and I need to be rid of all of this, and I need to focus my attentions, elsewhere. Either something has happened, or they just realize that the priorities have shifted. And that's, for anyone who can do that, that is, to me, it's one of the bravest things you can do. If it's something that is not necessary, if it's your hobby and it's something that you're super excited about, and then you realize, oh wait, it's not fun anymore. It's causing me anxiety. It's causing me stress. It's causing me financial stress. It's affecting my life. I used to travel. Maybe you don't travel anymore. Maybe you used to go out. Now you don't go out anymore. Or maybe you have, a good balance, and maybe you have a good thing going and you have a good handle on things, but then life throws you a curveball and all of a sudden you're like, I can't, and I got to get out. But then getting out, that means that you are, in many cases, you've built friendships, community. It's something that's a big part of your life. Your hobby has become a part of your life. It's things you look forward to. You look forward to the streams. You look forward to the reveals. You look forward to, the conversations that are being had. And you also look forward to getting, the figure. You're a part of a community. And so stepping away from that can be terrifying in many cases. And you asked me what, brought this on. It was Kite Man. Kite Man, you sent me a thing that's like, oh, McFarlane, Kite Man. I'm like, fuck yeah, Kite Man. Okay. So I go to pre-order Kite Man, and lo and behold, it's sold out. And I realize, I'm like, I don't miss this at all. I don't miss this frustration at all. Then I started to think about the other things that were frustrating. And I was talking to Lou, I was talking to Calvin, and we were talking about just, I'm like, God, this is why I don't miss, this scale of collecting or this scale of collecting, just the frustration that's involved in this. And I realized, I'm like, why am I so upset about this? Why am I so, because it brought up memories of chasing figures down at Target and Walmart, and, pre-orders that were exclusive here and pre-orders that were exclusive there, and seeing some of that creep into the 1/6 scale market the exclusives, the exclusives, the exclusives, and you realize it's like, oh, this is a slippery slope, and one too many exclusives, and I might go, I don't need this stress. I don't need this anxiety. I'm not here for the stress. I'm not here for the anxiety, but it can, that brought back all those memories for me personally was, seeing, I'm like, ooh, here's this awesome figure that this character I'm talking about all the time, Kite Man. I go to pre-order it, and the pre-order
is
is
not even available.
And it's, it's sold out. I'm like, okay, well, it just sucks the fun out of it. It's not something I need. But it's something small that it would have, I would have set it on my desk, and every time I would have looked at it, I went, "Yeah, Kite Man, fuck yeah."
Which is hilarious that Kite Man sold out.
Exactly, and it's it's like, why am I? But then it's like, okay, you're gonna make me chase after Kite Man. I don't have to chase after Kite Man. I don't have to chase after any of this stuff. Why am I putting myself through the stress?
And the problem was, bro, this is a figure that you have been talking about for months, like almost a year. You've been talking about this for a while, and it's as funny as it may be for a lot of people, it's not, because you were really passionate about, like, I want a Kite Man, like I really literally do. And
I got really excited when you sent this to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes,
it's here, like it's definitely here. And then when you go to try to pre-order it, it's gone. The limitations on the things that you definitely want cause a lot of stress. Then also and then when you see that, and then you also see the simple fact that there are people out there that are hoarding these figures just to basically sell them at a larger price. That's frustrating, because it's like, well, did you really, really, really want this? And do you have to necessarily do that? Now, look, we know that there's individuals out there that are resellers that do this as a business. They're establishing, and I get that. But sometimes there are people that just do it just because. Look, if you want to make an extra buck, I get that. But at the same time, I mean, just be conscious that there are people out there that really, really have a desire to have some of these pieces in their collection, man.
Calvin's back. Oh, you got him.
Yeah, I just brought him back. just be really, really, really conscious, about that, and that you're collecting the things that you want, that are really, really specific, for you. So man, I get it. I definitely get it. Calvin, before you bounced out, I'd ask, because remember, I think it was like a few months ago, we were talking about, and we have been having these conversations for a while. We have been talking about how this collecting space has changed. We have seen it evolve, but we haven't seen it evolve in the right way. Things have changed. Our perspective on collecting has changed. And you had said something about a few months ago. You was like, look, this wasn't my beginning. You know what I mean? Motorcycles, you had been doing stuff like that. You had other hobbies, other things that you actually collect, that if you get to the point, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm out. Even lately, you've been like, yo, I've been curating my collection. There's certain things that I am not getting, and I'm just passing on, because again, I have to basically stay focused in the realm of collecting. I'm not doing all this extra stuff. And that, it was telling, because we're talking about, again, we have these conversations. Hell, I wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for, this collecting space. But I'm also seeing the simple fact that even my, existence in this collecting space has been tested because of things. And then not even to mention, which we won't get into, because we're going into a whole political perspective with the tariffs type of situation. Those things have played a role as well. So yeah, man, like hearing these conversations right now isn't anything new, but how has your perspective been since? You know what I mean?
It's dwindled even more so. It's funny to hear Ben, give his story. And then, like Chris said, we saw the other collector. Now, me personally, y'all know me, nickname Low Key. If I decide to dip out, I'm dipping out. I'm not gonna put a video out there and be like, "Hey, y'all, well, I'm gone and did it." And Calvin will be gone. I'm just letting y'all know now. The people I'm cool with, I'll keep in contact with them. But as far as the whole putting my business out there, that ain't me. So I wouldn't do that. But to each their own. But it was a real take. It was like, damn, this shit's really hitting people. Now I know he just recently got married, so I mean that comes with its own, financial strains and responsibilities there. Especially when you have to be responsible for another person in the household. But this is a lot. And that's only for people that are just solely in 6 scale. I got vehicles, I got statues, quarter and third scale. I got, the extra fusion reactors and extra accessories and shit. All this shit comes in at once. And it's like, damn, I'm doing a little too much. Give y'all a backstory real quick. So last month, a few of my cards got flagged for fraud. So had to get new cards. And even one account, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna open a new account. They took forever to get that card to me. And certain cards I have for certain things. I've got things for the business, I've got things for the house, I've got things for the collection. So the new account I built for the collection, it took them like damn near 2 weeks to get my card to me, to the point where payments were starting to come around. And I'm like, I need to get these things paid. So I reached out to my brother and I was like, hey, bro, I need to borrow some money. I have the cash on me, but I don't have a physical way to pay for it with the card because I don't have my card in. He's like, say less. Gave me his card information. I was like, and as I spend things, I'll just send it back to you. You know, it's one thing to just make your payments on your own and you're not thinking about it, just money's coming out, moving on. But when you make the payment and you have to pay somebody back, and you see what that shit, $250 here, $500 here, another $200. Yeah. Even he hit me. He was like, $500. I said, don't ask questions. Just know I owe you.
Yeah.
So even with that response, I was like, and then I'm looking like, did I just spend $1,000 in like a week and a half?
Yeah.
That's a fucking card note.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was a last payment for a statue. That was the last payment for an Iron Man figure. So it was bigger payments than normal. But then you still got the little teetering 45 to 60 payments that those tack up as well. And I'm like, what could I do with just putting this shit back in my pocket?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at now. I'm like, I think I'd be better off just keeping money in my pocket instead of just paying out. So last month, that was a real slap in the face. Like, damn, I'm paying too much out for this shit. So I really am
scaling back,
bringing it back in.
Yeah, it's that friction, right? You know, that friction that slows you down enough to make you realize what you're doing.
Yeah. Like I said, when you're paying it out, it's one thing. If it's just coming out the account, okay, boom, it's paid. You know what the total amount is, but when you're paying that out to somebody else, and then they like, bro, did you send me $500? I'm like, I did. Don't worry about it. I owe you. That's it's right.
Yeah.
So you're like, damn, if he says something about it, shit, okay.
Yeah, like it's, bro, trust me, like I got hit and really got hit hard in April. Was supposed to go to, of course, Star Wars Celebration in London. Couldn't do that because at the same time I had got word that my daughter was coming up here from Australia. So again, hadn't seen the original trip I was supposed to take to Australia was supposed to happen before the pandemic. I was supposed to leave and go to Australia in 2019. I couldn't because the pandemic hit. And because of that, everything just went completely downhill. You know what I mean? So I had a decision to make, even though I had planned on it, bought tickets and everything, reserved a room and everything to go. I had to make a conscious decision to say, nope, it's not going to work. So I put that off, ended up spending time in New York, back and forth, with my daughter, bringing her, we were there. I had to bring her back here. And anybody who lives in New York right now, you already know, Lou, you already know. Right now, we're dealing with the simple fact that there's congestion fees. There's these, stupid ass when you're traveling through the city, there's now things called congestion fees. If you get caught by this camera, they'll charge you for it. Tolls, back and forth, hotel fees. To stay in New York are crazier than it has ever been before. And this is even, I got family up there. I wasn't going to put that pressure on family. So I decided to basically stay in a hotel, happen to deal with, okay, not only, look, got my daughter coming up here, her and her mother. I had shelter responsibility to make sure that, everybody had a place to stay, that things were definitely taken care of, paying for food back and forth, getting things for my daughter. A lot of that really, really hit at the most inopportune time. So now I'm in a rebuilding stage, completely to keep it all the way stacked. I'm rebuilding. I haven't been pre-ordering shit. I haven't been putting my money out there to do shit because right now it is a rebuilding stage to get myself back in order. But at the same time, it did give me a perspective, a really, 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 really good perspective on what I'm doing as far as this collection is concerned. Even to be quite honest, like, and you don't want to put your business too far out there, but it does affect what goes on in the house. It does affect what goes on in relationships. And my relationship with my children, with my lady, with my family is much more important than this. So things that you have to really, we love it. Don't get me wrong. We love it. We love this thing. But at the same time, we have to really be responsible for what we actually do. Before I kind of get in, and I want to say what's up to Lou. Lou, what's going on, man? So glad to have you here with us, man. So glad you were able to dip in as well, because it's definitely worth having this conversation, man. So I'm glad to see you here. And I'm gonna definitely get to you in just a second here, man. But I want to actually talk to Chewy, because Chewy, you had just started the channel, bro. Like you just,
I know.
and I know hearing this is like,
no, you're all leaving.
yeah, nah, we
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a weird. It's just, I think it's a weird time. Right now, just in terms of being a collector, just because of the fact that we have so much that gets announced. Like it seems to come in waves. You have waves of time where you'll get announcements, but it's for figures that aren't out for another year. Mm-hmm. But then you have all of these things that had been announced a year ago, all suddenly hitting at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think for a lot of people, the excitement of making those pre-orders, it gets you, right? Like you get hooked, and that's part of the addiction of collecting, if you want to look at it that way. I know for myself, there have been I've canceled pre-orders in the last 6 months, a few at a time, just because I look back at them. Because my initial start was with Star Wars, and it always that was always my lane, was Star Wars, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And then one day, however, I don't know how many years ago it was now, but one day when they announced that, I think it was the Dark Knight DX19, and I loved that, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and then I got it. And then before I knew it, I was justifying myself dipping my toe in other IPs. Mm-hmm. And then it became a thing where, okay, it's not just Star Wars now. It's going to be Star Wars and some Marvel and some DC and some this and some that. And before I realized it, I at one time, my pre-order list was almost, I think I was in the low 40s. Mm-hmm. Of pre-orders. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insanity. And not to put too fine a point on it, but archaeology professors do not make like so much money that I would be able to say, okay, I can afford this. This is fine. Yes, I could if I didn't want to pay any bills or keep my marriage. But that's where you have to make those decisions and decide this is too far. And it's Sideshow, Hot Toys in particular, don't seem to be interested. And they, in all fairness, they're in business to make money. They don't seem to be interested in trying to parse things out in such a way that people can more easily absorb it. So what you end up getting is this wave of things that all come out at the same time, and people get overwhelmed. And while again, I don't think it's Hot Toys' responsibility to curb the spending patterns of people. If they want to keep their customer base, they shouldn't be trying to push them all out.
Yeah.
And that can happen. And it's been happening for the last, I'd say, 6 months to a year, this past year, really. Yeah. I've noticed a lot of people, I've seen posts of people selling off, not their entire collections, mind you, but people selling off this figure and that figure, or this group of figures, or I'm no longer collecting this IP. I'm going to get rid of all my Marvel or all my DC. Like that kind of thing. And it's because it's just, people are just overwhelmed, and it's a lot of money. When you really look at it, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, bro,
So-
I definitely believe that, man. Thank you for that. Real quick though, Lou, before I kind of go to you, man, I want to actually say what up because I forgot to say what's up to the chat, man. Who everybody got there? We got Windman in the building, of course, man. Thank you for being here. He's a good point of reference. Our priorities versus companies like Hot Toys. They do not expect everyone to try and buy everything, but sometimes those drops are really, really so much. Yeah, definitely they are. We got Striker 47. It's amazing how Hot Toys can cling on to you or cling on to you. I thought you said cling on to you. I was supposed to as opposed to only have 2 figures, the Mandalorian Boba Fett, and 2 figures turned into 10, which turned into 20, which turned into 29. Yeah, it's basically a full rotation, man. We got Timothy Dixon in the building. Thank you for being here, bro, as always. We got my man Mark Lee in the building. I reserved it to this, bro. Definitely be proud of the collection like we have, but think about how we used to pay $225 to $230 a figure. Now, average is $260. Yeah, definitely it is going up. Figure Craft is in the building. Thank you for being here, man. As always, appreciate you, bro. Proud to, let me see here. Mark Lee, you think it's something I'd be proud of, but often I think, Dan, money could have gone to countless other. Yeah, definitely it is. When you think about it, it could have, and that's what makes you reel it in. We got Noon Tunes in the building. Thank you for being here. Lubinar's in the building. Thank you for being here as well. We got Renz, Justin McFly. We got Blurred Dead. Life is in the building. Who else? We got my man Commander Green is in here with us as well. Thank you for being here. Doguito, Brandon Altman is in here. Thank you for being here as well. We definitely appreciate you. Cairo, the Black Leprechaun, is in here. Thank you for being here. Brian Martin is in the building. Thank you for being here. Thomas Houston is in the building. Thank you for being here as well. Ben Thomas, man, what's going on with you, bro? Thank you for being here as well. Chuck G is in the building. Mitchell Lawrence is in the building. Who else do we got in here with us, man? We got quite a few people. Dockinator, the Booty King's in here. MB Dyson is in here. Machiavelli, the Dawn is in here. Thank you for being here. As always, Malika Mabane is in the building, as well as Prulaw is in the building. Thank you for being here. Lou, and then we go. Now, don't get me wrong, we're gonna go through these figures too, but I think this is an important discussion that we need to definitely have, man, because if we don't, and it's basically just to check the temperature in the collecting atmosphere. Lou, you're a collector. You collect basically what you want. You collect on all mediums. You get certain things from certain IPs. How's this been for you? And hearing all these revelations out here right now, how are you sitting, bro?
All right. First and foremost, let me give you the visual. Look at that.
Yeah.
Let me bring this in.
See that?
Wow.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
That's not even supposed to be like that. That's supposed to be empty, so that way you can see the figures.
Yeah.
And then that right there is starting to pile up on that side.
Yeah.
That's when you notice there's a problem.
Yep. Yeah.
But like X was saying, me, X, and Low Key, in our private chats, we was having a discussion about tap out culture, just tapping out in general, the FOMO, and this is all at the height of Kite Man, and it's nothing new. I knew it was going to sell out because there's loyalists to the McFarlane line, and I understand. Believe me, when I started collecting hardcore, like got back into collecting, was McFarlane. Like I had everything from Spawn the mutant version to like Spawn 999. You know what I mean? They have so many different versions, and what kills it is that chase. Granted, it's great when you have the chase at first, but think of it like a woman, right? Think of it like a woman. You want that back and forth, right? Collecting could do that for you in a way. But if you have something that just keeps pulling back, and you see,
okay, could you use 2 other fingers when you're talking though? Use 2.
Don't get back because I know how to paintbrush it, baby. I'm good.
I'm used to them pulling back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
But back to the facts.
Go ahead.
It's like not the one who got away, but the one who can appreciate you, and then it goes back to center. You start to reevaluate yourself because you're chasing something that doesn't want you back.
Yeah.
This collection, it's something that has to speak to you. You know what I mean? So when you have chases like what McFarlane, what all the toy lines do, I'm just gonna say it like that. Hasbro does it. McFarlane does it. Hot Toys does it. Shit, you can even say it at this point in time that there's not one line that doesn't have an exclusive piece chasing attachment to it, whether it's two figures to one item versus the rooted hair, non-rooted hair, or even a mouse that's not in scale, but still people love that goddamn mouse. And you can't be mad at it because that's people's things. That's what separates us and makes us beautiful amongst each other. At the same time, understand this person loves this. Like, I will never knock anybody for loving Doom. I would never knock anybody for loving comedy and just want I want a Back to the Future piece. I'd rather have Back to the Future than anything else, and that's it. Or say Ghostbusters, that's the peak comedy and I want that on my shelf. Or say if they don't have it in this scale, they have it in that scale. Because I collect everything, like you said before. I have NECA, I have Hasbro, I have figure arts, I have imports, I have customs. Granted, I'm not on the level like some people we know. Shout out to Bob Dylan, Mr. Santa Claus himself. But we all gotta keep each other on point, and it starts with you. If you feel overwhelmed and pulled down from the hobby, then the hobby's not benefiting you. It's a hindrance. It's like a bad relationship, like I was saying before. They can take, but if it's not giving you that same satisfaction and feeling, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing. So sometimes it's good to take a pause on stuff and look around and enjoy what you got. Right now, I'm back to what I do every year. When the summertime comes, I start composting all these box art stuff and whatnot, whatever, because whatever I'm keeping. Whatever I'm not keeping, I'm eventually going to sell out to somebody who can appreciate the figure that wants it, but they want it where they know that it's not damaged because it's been sitting in a factory or sitting on a shelf for so long, and someone's been taking care of it, making sure that it's good. They'll send photos and say, yo, I've held this for so many years. This is what's wrong with it. I give you a deal. And some people rather the connection, which that's why we have a community to connect with people. To get that trade-off. And this thing, it could ruin your relationships. It could
most definitely.
It could ruin your relationships. And the most important one is it changes your perspective on everything. That's what, like this right here, I gotta break these down. I still get shit coming in, and I hear it. I hear it. It's an addiction. It becomes a problem. Now, mind you, a lot of the stuff I got is pre-orders from like 2 years ago that finally is starting to ship in. It's like, babe, I can't do nothing about it. It's already paid for. Once it's paid for, it's out of my hands. Whatever shows up, shows up. So it's like, if I cancel now, I'll either lose out on that money or, never know what if it, fills in that space, that void. The collection. Because that's what that is. It's like anything with playing cards, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Some people are chasing these packs to get that rare one and be like, I knew I was going to get it. You know what I mean? You want to feel special when you grab one of those exclusive joints. But then there's burnout, and you want to get away from the burnout because the burnout will light you up and make you reassess and make you stop. Just because you need a cold turkey stop. That's why I said it's an addiction. I got a challenge for you. No TV, no phone, no collecting for a week. And see how far you get. You'll be like, damn, I touched my phone. Damn, I looked at my collection. Damn, I had to open a box. Damn, I got to see this gamer today. Oh, shit, this movie, I got to go see it. Oh, man, I'm missing my episodes right now. Like, you're addicted to what you're consuming. You are what you eat. So when you start taking the time, like we were talking about, the little things on our side chat, X brought up some points, Low Key brought up some points, and we all looking at it from a different, window. Like before all this, man, I had a big stop and collected, and I was breakdancing, I was in battles. How can I put it? My biggest thing besides showing off was showing off.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody here has specific purpose in life, and everyone stands out like a sore thumb when it's their time to shine, right? But there's some of us that just love the mic and can't let go of the mic. And regardless of who you are, if you know how to be a master of ceremonies, especially if you're in the spotlight, you're going to consume that spotlight.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody going to stop to not look at you because they have no choice but to.
Yeah. I feel
That's how I am, and that's how you are. That's how a lot of us on the panel are. And with that, I'm going to say, this is all necessary, and it couldn't come at a better day than Father's Day. To everyone who's a father on the panel, to everyone who's a father in the chat, to every single person who's going to watch this on the replay. And make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow everybody else. You already know.
You already know, bro. Definitely, man. I appreciate that.
I think it's important to stress, though, that like, whilst we're all addicted, we're addicted to collectibles and not Class A drugs, not alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, we're probably on the right side of addiction, I think, here on the panel and everyone in the chat.
He says that as I take a shot.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, man. Like, I think, and thank you. This was definitely a very important conversation, and I'm glad we were actually able to have it. I think this is the therapy that we were planning on basically having discussion.
We did it.
We did it. Like, we actually had that collectors therapy discussion pretty much today, and hopefully it helped some people out there because, Ben, you've lived it. And it's nothing. It's a better time. No time like the present to have this discussion with you living that and you saying, okay, now I was able to recess, take away, a time away from this whole thing and come back refreshed with new focus and purpose on what it is that I want to have. And you can have that fun for you, knowing that if it gets too much, you can dip out because there's no responsibility at that particular point. You know what I mean? I say that. And I'll tell Toya that it's like sometimes I think it's a gift and a curse. The curse for me was being able to really, really share my collection and my ideas with people and have that feedback. The curse was being able to share my idea with people and create space because of the simple fact that now it takes so much time away. It's the pressure of it. But at the same time, you do it because you love it, but you also do it because you feel as though there's a purpose in it. And as much as now that I'm sometimes I'm like, you know what, I've worked so hard to get to this point, to have the subs, to create the space, to have the channel, to be able to reach other people. To dip out would be a disservice to the idea of creating a space that could possibly branch out. People watch these shows because it helps. It helps because you're able to, I'm just like everybody else out there in the circle of friends that I have locally. I don't have people who do what I do. I don't have people out here who basically collect. I think I got one friend, Mark 7, who lives within the area who collects, but he collects on a totally different medium. It's not the same. You know what I mean? So to have that, it becomes, to have this space, it's more welcoming. But at the same time, when you look at it, sometimes it can be depressive because you see people drop off that, were very important pillars in this community, but you understand it, you support it. You've developed relationships and friendships that you see have soured for reasons that you can't understand, but you can't change that. The only thing you can do is wish them luck and just move on and continue. But I think the biggest thing about this space is we can all fellowship in the space that we love collecting. We just have to control it. We have to find a level of control. Got another person I want to bring in here real quick with us. We got Ben Thomas, who just said, Ben, how you doing, bro?
Good. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
We got the nut himself, man. Ben Thomas,
pause,
in the building, man. What's going on with you, bro? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Thank you for the invite. Happy Father's Day to all you guys. I was on the road. I was on the way back from my lady's house, and I was listening to you guys all the way, and I was cruising through traffic. I'm like, if I can get in for even 5 minutes to chat with you guys, that'd be awesome. Ben's here, the other Ben. I'd love to see it. So good to see you guys, man.
So good glad to have you here, Ben. I mean, you heard the discussion. You heard what we were talking about
100%.
On the way here. And I know people want to talk about figures, but I think it's important that we have this discussion because I'm pretty sure you probably felt the weight. You've even had discussions on your show about curating and, just really focusing in on the things that you want and maybe just kind of like getting rid of the things that really don't matter. It's just to kind of create space and also create that level of sanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, for sure.
How has it been for you since all of this has been going on, bro?
Well, it's been crazy because like I've been collecting since 2009. So, I mean, that's going on, geez, like what, 15, 16 years already, which is insane. Like I've got a lot more gray hair, as you guys can see, right? You call it the Ben Richards. So like,
Ben Richards, bro.
Hide it today.
Ben Richards, bro.
But, yeah, I mean, like, but again, like when I think back to when I first started collecting, I remember seeing the DX11 Joker, the DX12 Batman, and I thought, like, at the time, I think they were like $250 or maybe even less. And I was like, man, that's a wish buy. That's something that like I can't even ever justify by myself. But if somebody ever got it for me, like, how crazy would that be? And then somebody did actually get me that figure, the DX12 Batman, and I remember like thinking at the time, like, this is the best Batman that I'll ever own. Like this is the pinnacle of Batman. So of course they've remade it now, like, you know, 5 times since then, right? But of course, way she goes. But I think what I've learned over the years, like when I first started listening to YouTube, it was mostly around the pandemic, and actually that's when you know, I was watching your channel, Layal, I was watching, you know, Will Fox, I was watching those guys, PJ, and everybody talking about figures. And back then the kind of the rhetoric was, you know, figure would come out, oh, we're getting it. Everybody's getting it. Every figure was like, figure, getting it. And I remember thinking back then, even like, man, like, what do these guys do for work? Like, I want to do their job, because like, man, I can only get like maybe 2 figures a year, right? But it doesn't matter. It wasn't the quantity, it was the characters that were coming out, and there were these things that I really, really wanted, and you started to feel that FOMO, right? We talk about the fear of missing out, and not because you're missing out in the community or the perception of unboxings, but because they're truly characters that you actually really want in your display. I started collecting Lego minifigures, Ben. That's actually how I got into 6 scale, because I was collecting so many different Lego minifigures, but having a harder time figuring out how to display them. And then when I first started getting those Hot Toys, I actually stopped on the Lego because I couldn't do both. It was like, because even Lego is expensive, especially if you collect Lego figures like through the sets, right? But over the last couple of years, what I've really started to realize, especially being in the YouTube sphere and everything, is that most of us can't have everything. And so if we can't have everything, then what will help to make your collection unique? You know, what would make somebody want to watch my collection video over watching Layal's collection video, over watching Loco Lou's collection video, would be that we all have subtly different collections. I don't want to have the same thing that everybody has. And that's part of the reason that limited can be fun. It's part of the reason that different lines can be fun. I collect X06 Star Trek figures where a lot of us don't, right? Like there's different pieces of our individual collections that make us happy. But Loco Lou, you kind of hit it, right? Like if somebody comes into my collection room, I want them to know what makes me tick. I don't want them to think like, oh, Ben just likes everything. I want them to be able to stand in my room without me being here and know exactly like what's in my heart, what's in my nostalgia, what's in that punch in the chest of nostalgia every time I walk in. Like it's these characters that make me most excited. And I have had to cancel a couple pre-orders over the last couple of years, because the other piece of collecting is that we don't necessarily have the crystal ball, right? What comes out today that I'm like, oh, I want that, might not be something I want as much in a month from now, when something else that I even want more comes out, and I'm like, damn, like now I want that even more. And that's the stress for me, is I just can't afford everything. So I really have to start saying no. And you know, I'm like, there are already the professional YouTube unboxers, right? The Justins of the world, and those guys who already have that niche locked in. So I felt like there was this stress at one point, you know, a year ago or 2 years ago when I started the channel, of, okay, like I need to get a figure in and I need to wait to unbox it. I need to hold back my excitement just so I can take video and photos and everything to try and get this unboxing experience captured on camera. And that was actually making me lose love for the hobby, because you didn't get that vibe anymore. It was just like, oh, I gotta wait to make content, and that was shitty. So I stopped doing unboxings for the most part. Point of all that is, the reason I called my show the Ben Thomas Show was that basically if it shows up on my channel, it means something to me. Whether it gets me spicy or it gets me excited, doesn't matter. If it's on my show, then that I really am passionate about it. It's why I don't cover every Star Wars release. It's why I don't cover every Star Trek release. It's why I don't cover everything, because it should mean something to me, or I don't want to put that out in the world. It can be for somebody else to get excited about as well. So it can be stressful, but I do think you guys nailed it when you talked about, I think more people have to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more tight. 2 years ago, my fiance ended our relationship. I had to sell my house. My whole life felt like it was coming apart at the seams. The collecting community actually helped hold me together. Some of the friends that I'd made in this world were some of the closest people in my life, and had nothing to do with figures that we were collecting. It just had those friendships. But even now, a couple years later, I'm surrounded by amazing stuff. But I still live in an apartment. I have other savings goals now. Like, I want to buy a house again, and I want to do it without having to rely on somebody else. I never want to have to sell a house again because of a relationship ending. I want to do it myself. And so if that also means that my other savings goals get in the way of buying every figure that I want, then that's okay. I got this Predator the other day for $160. Because like the guy was selling it because he was getting the new one. I'm like, man, this is a great figure. I'm like, I was so excited to have Predator. I was so excited. And I mean, it's not canon, but I've got him beside my old school Arnold Schwarzenegger too. So that's
it's a nostalgia show. It's a
nostalgia. You never know. These mediums are going to mix soon, bro. So just be prepared.
That's right. That's right. But it makes me happy at the end of the day. And like most of the time, we're the only one who ever really gets to see our own collection room, right? If I bring somebody who's a non-collector in here, they already think this is the coolest room they've ever seen. So I don't have to have everything that's the latest, everything that's the greatest. As long as that nostalgic punch in the chest hits you, that's, I think, the important part.
I think I got and thank you for that, Ben. But I think, and before we kind of jump in here, I think I got here's a good, and I want to bring this up because here's one thing that, because of collecting, has spawned great relationships, but you also spawn gifts, things that are gifted to you that mean more to you than a lot of more than what people will realize. I say this to say this. I say this because of this very thing right here that I'm about to bring up. This piece right here from my guy Sterling Arts got delivered to me the other day.
That's beautiful.
Now, to him, it's a piece of art. He heard me talk about it, and he was like, yo, I do this. I'm just going to give it to you because I know that, I painted this specific. This is a custom piece specifically for me. This is what he painted for me, right? So he sends this to me, and I don't think even he realized how much this meant to me. I'm a Wonder Woman fan. Wonder Woman, basically back in the late 70s, early 80s, was a show that I watched constantly, religiously, because again, I love the show. Linda Carter was always and always will be the original Wonder Woman for me. So to have this and have him basically send it to me meant a lot. Now, also, he's a Batman fan. I sent him, because he basically loves Batman, I sent him my tactical suit Batman because I knew he wanted it. Yes. So it was that exchange, but it was something that we both wanted. But I got a piece from him that literally speaks volumes. When we get these art pieces from like Ren's Talentino, my boy Vinny, when we get gifted within a community, and the relationships that we have in this community means more than anything. There are some upsides to this. So it's not just about collecting, but it's about the relationships that we build and the things that we actually get. So I do want to give a super duper shout out to Sterling Arts, definitely, because again, he created this piece. And it's absolutely amazing, and I thank him for this. So shout out to you. I know he's out there in the chat. He said I had to narrow things down or would be divorcing a few. I am sticking with what I love. Thanks, Lael. Love my tactical suit, Batman. You're the best, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much for this piece. I absolutely love this. But great conversations all around, definitely about this. Hey, X, you're going to get your kite, man.
You'll get kite.
You're going to get your kite, man. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming. Somebody will find it for you in the community and say, hey, this is where you can get it. It's available now. So don't worry.
You'll have your window open and they'll just fly in one day.
Exactly. I know exactly who to ask to get one of these. And that's Uncle Moose. That's
Moose. Yeah, so definitely, bro.
Talk to Moose, and Moose will make it happen. I'm telling you.
There you go, bro. It will be found. It will definitely be found. But Ben, you talked about this before we got in, and the reason why you brought back in. We're talking about Kid Fisto right now, man. So here is the figure. Now, here's the thing, and I say this
beautiful
for a reason, because again, I have been talking about this for a long time. Now, remember when this was originally announced, when this was originally previewed, it was around the time that Bestman Luke had been previewed. That's right. How far this goes back. This was in the same picture as Bestman Luke. This is crazy. Like, it is literally it's crazy that it took a while, because it was in purgatory for them to finally release it, for it to go up for pre-order, and now it's released and it is in your collection. I know, Ben, you had talked about this. This is one of the things that kind of took this piece, because it was one that you brought into premonition to say, look, if they brought this out, this will be the only thing that would bring me back in. Voila. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, man. So what are your thoughts on it, and do you think it's living up to expectation?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's probably a lot of people in the chat now thinking, wait, Kit Fisto is the one that brings you back into collecting, not like a Han Solo or, but yeah, so this character, I don't know, like, I was a kid that didn't want the action man. I wanted the creature. I wanted the monster.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved my aliens and things like that. And when I was fairly young still when Attack of the Clones came out, and I remember just falling head over heels in love with this insanely cool kind of design. I don't know whether it was like subconsciously as a Men in Black fan, I felt like it was the baby growing up, and that was cool to me. And obviously where he did his sort of charming little smile, it was such a small moment, but it was just I just fell in love with him as a kid. I remember having the old would it be Hasbro figure? Yeah, so I used to have that, and that was one of my favorites. So it's just something that it just means a lot to me. And like, even though he got dispatched very quickly, embarrassingly quickly, it was still really cool to me as well that he was one of the chosen kind of gang to go and try and get Palps. So yeah, I absolutely adore the character. And yeah, like, I've just been longing for the figure ever since, as you say, it was teased. They had it on display a couple of times, and I just didn't think it was ever going to happen. I think after, when sort of 4 or 5 years pass, you just like, you write it off in your head really as something that will remain in the graveyard. So when it was actually very annoying, because I'd pretty much just made my decision to kind of go cold turkey and start collecting. And I think it was probably like 2 weeks later they announced this, and I was like, mother. But the decision was made, so I've kind of, I've been firm on that decision for a long time, and it was actually a pre-order for the caustic plastic Frankenstein. That was officially my first kind of, right, I'm gonna get one 6 scale figure, and that is the one that is gonna sit in my living room and be in its own case and things like that. But then when this got kind of released, and I started seeing like some in-hand reviews and just how perfect it looked. I mean, it's hard to get wrong, because obviously it isn't human in the face and things like that, so it's a lot easier. But yeah, when I started to see those in-hand videos, I just had to, and I ordered it from One Sip Kit, and then chuckled to myself that I got Kit from Kit. Yeah. So that will hopefully be arriving for me. I don't know how long these things take now, a couple of weeks maybe. But what I've got is these new display cases that are from IKEA that are just like, they're just individual floating kind of display cases. So it's great for me who is, yes, I'm kind of getting some figures again, but I absolutely want to set some very strict rules. So I've only got 2 of those cases. So at the very most, I can probably have 4 figures.
Gotcha.
And we'll get to another announcement later in the show that is probably one of those 4 figures that I have. But my strict rule, you heard it here first, my strict rule, absolutely, until something comes out that breaks it. But my strict rule for now is that I'm getting the humanoid Jedi Council members. That is I'm talking. Kit and Plo were always my favorites. So those 2, and then I'm thinking Stacey Tin, and I'd love a Shakti. Or
oh my God, bro! Please, you know what? Speak that into existence, because when you speak, they tend to fucking listen, bro. So if they give us a Shakti,
come on, Howard.
Yeah, you already know, bro. You already know.
But this is perfect. I've got absolutely no. I am a little bit worried about putting on the robe, because I think that's just a bit awkward with the way the braids are and the head sculpt, and so I'm not looking forward to that. But other than that, no flaws. And the other thing I'm slightly apprehensive about is it sounds like that belt is clever again. But I'll have another mental breakdown, probably sell it all in 2 years anyway. So, but I love it, and I'm very excited.
Use acrylic sealer. If you get acrylic sealer for fabrics, right, you put that on the pleather belt, specifically since the belt, it's supposed to stay as is, functioning as, just decorational, because it doesn't hold up no pants. It has its own pants. It's not going to do anything other than hold a lightsaber, which 90% of the time you're going to hold the lightsaber with the hand of the figure and have it ignited, depending on the type of display that you're going to do. Use the acrylic sealer for that belt, and you're never going to have a problem. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely, man. X, man, I know we talked about this before. You said this would be one that will linger around and you'll wait. I think you said to get this. Didn't you say you were going to wait on this, or this one you're getting?
Oh no, this one I've already ordered from my.
It was a sassy teen, I think.
It was the sassy teen. Sassy teen. Okay. I'm like, yeah, but Kit Fisto. I'm this close to getting a Fison body, painting it green as underwater Kit Fisto. Let's do it.
Let's
go.
Yes.
I mean, Star Wars without aliens is just a bunch of people in brown pants. Come on.
Thank you.
Come on. So yes, this is one of my favorite character designs in all of Star Wars, and I just love how dynamic this particular character is. Just looking at the poses you can get him into, this is one that I ordered quite some time ago, so this is definitely going to be in the collection next to Mace Windu, and eventually Revenge of the Sith, Yoda, fingers crossed, and Plo Koon. Sassy teen, maybe later on down the line, maybe, but this one, absolutely.
I Sassy teen, I gotta get broadcast. It's crazy, but I gotta say that because it's the council. It's the council. That's all. Chewy, man, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, this was paid off a long time ago. I literally when they were first starting to put out any of the Jedi Council, I was a little bit nervous. Are they going to complete it? Is it going to be a situation where you get 3 of them and then never any others ever again? And I decided to take the chance with this one, mainly because sort of it's a similar story in a way to Ben in the sense that my nephews were very young when Attack of the Clones came out. And they loved this character. They thought he was the coolest looking thing. They were 5, they were 3 or 4 or 5 years old. And the amount that they loved this character just made me love him more because of just the way that they would light up whenever they saw Kit Fisto. And then they watched the Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars. And they absolutely loved him in that. And so, yeah, I ended up, I have a soft spot in my heart for Kit Fisto. So yeah, the second this was announced, I pre-ordered this one. Because I do think they're going to do at least a majority of the council, if not everybody. I don't think they'll do everybody, but the fact that they've done Kit Fisto, we've got Plo Koon coming. Now Sassy Teen is announced. Already got Mace Windu. Like in a way, if they were to stop now with the Jedi Council, as much as I want Shakti, but if they were to stop now, you can actually build that, it's treason then pose, right? Like you've got all the characters.
Yeah.
You can set it all up now. So there are display options with the ones that they've released and the ones they've announced.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm 100% excited for this, but for right now, this is one of those figures that I've got all paid off and I'm just waiting, but I'm not getting any emails. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, but, it's going to probably be a while because I still haven't gotten an email about Ahsoka or anything else as of right now.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm still waiting.
I have not got an email about Ahsoka. I've not got an email about Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I've not got an email about Endor Han, which granted they haven't. I don't think they've even that hasn't had blogger photos yet either. So, but like there's a whole bunch of figures that were announced a year ago that have all come out. Some people have them, but not me for whatever reason.
Definitely.
But
definitely.
No, this was.
I'm right there. Yeah.
This was a definite day one for me. I'm very, very happy. I can't wait till I have it.
Definitely. And Lumi, I'm right there with you. Illuminar and Barris is what I've been pushing on for the longest time.
That could be the two in the other case.
Oh, yeah.
Flo and Kit, and then Lumi and Barris in the other one.
Yeah, definitely.
I want Kiadi Mundi as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bastard, but yeah.
I need a Yaddle because after that arc that we saw, animation arc that's like different.
Oh, Tales of the Jedi,
Oh, come on.
That was so good.
Open it down. It's like, so how long has it been returned?
Come
on,
Yeah,
man.
definitely needed. Definitely needed. Hey, Calvin, man, what's your thoughts on this? Is this one that are you still in that curating phase, or this one that you ordered, well before all this shit took place?
Did you forget my request on Wednesday? I was like, Ray, where you at?
Oh, that's right. Ray was like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it.
So I initially slept on it, and I always meant to just put it on my list to just next thing I know it was waitlisted. So, but this looks phenomenal. All the videos I've seen of this thing, even the back of the head with all the tendrils and coming out. Like, this is definitely something I need on the shelf. And I love the fact that he's green and pops. So this is one I'm gonna have to go for.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's one that's needed in the collection, man. Especially if you're a council. And we talked about this even last week. Like, it's funny how the inspiration for and I don't care what Lucasfilm says or not, and they are lying if they say it's not. The inspiration for this character definitely came from Men in Black. Get the hell out of here if you say it did not, because it did, because it is a direct from the neck up copy of that alien the alien baby that we actually saw in Men in Black. So
no way that's a coincidence.
Only no way it's not, man. Nose. That's the only difference is the nose.
It's the only major difference. But other than that, bro, this is a direct copy. If you painted it blue, it would be the same thing, bro. So stop playing. Lou, what's your thoughts on this, man?
It was like more of a flesh tone, not so much blue, but the blue was the spit that the baby spit out on Will. Just
blue milk.
Yeah. But when it comes down to this, man, this was already locked and loaded. As soon as he came up, I said pre-order, just like I did with Shati. Like pre-order. I'm not missing out on the council. The best part of Clone Wars was the fact that we got to see many Jedi. And how many Jedi had different skills and abilities and things that made them unique other than appearance. Right? Yeah. And this guy right here, he was so badass. He was just chilling with the lightsaber in his mouth, swimming. And then when it came time to, whip that ass over. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kit Fisto is has a cult following, right?
Yeah.
Just like Plo Koon has a cult following. Granted, he was dubbed the best pilot in the council. Funny enough, he died in the cockpit. But how else you gonna go out? You either gonna go out standing on your feet in the ring, or you gonna, not show up.
He was betrayed.
They all were. But this right here, this specific figure did not betray me one bit.
Yeah.
And this is something that we all discussed around the time of what was it? The Dark Side's reveal, things that Hot Toys were doing. They were pushing all the Dark Side stuff. And I'm like, if they're pushing all the Dark Side stuff, that means they're not gonna do nothing for the light, because we subconsciously are always gonna go for the heroes. We've seen that with Age of Ultron, Thanos, so on and so forth. Like, we saw that there's a pattern that the villains do not get the love as a figure representation that we see with TASM, or with you can even say with Spider-Man 3, because the closest that we got to a Sandman was a base. You know what I mean? But they started, reversing that. We started getting more Sith, and he's like, okay, we're getting the Sith now. So are we going to have an event for the Jedi? No, they're going to sneak it under the radar to make sure that we get this. And with that being said, this is locked and loaded. Where I'm going to put it, I know. Don't tell my wife. At the end of the day, though, I'm going for the Council. The Council of Jedi. That's just something that is a must for me. But Hot Toys, stop the BS. Give us the chairs. All right, make it available. Make it $20.
Council chairs,
Make the chairs $20, and the next Yoda that you put out with purrs and some rooted hair, please make it a regular edition where everybody can get their hands on it, and make sure he comes with his little floating chair that you see in episode 3, and also make sure, episode 2, and make sure he got his own chair, put his little baby feet on, right? And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, man, appreciate that. Before we get to Ben real quick, I do want to actually do a cutaway real quick and say this episode is brought to you by the Ben Richards art line. Ben Richards will be in Fantastic Four coming next month, so make sure that you actually support. Get your tickets if you want to see Ben Richards on screen.
I'm gonna dye my hair this afternoon. It's happening.
What's going on? So Ben, what's your thoughts on this piece, bro?
This is 100% that FOMO that I was talking about earlier, right? This is 100% one of those pieces that I know people are getting in. I'm seeing some of the unboxings, and I'm like, it looks so freaking cool.
Yeah.
God damn it. And I will admit, I hadn't watched Clone Wars until this year. I just finished Clone Wars finally for the first time. I was stuck on season 2 for the longest time, and people were like, no, push through, get to the end, you'll love it. And of course, sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And Kit Fisto in the 2D animation, like the Clone Wars series, was a beast. He was an absolute badass in that. So when this figure came up available last week, and I'm like, man, I literally just finished the show. I actually really liked him in that.
Yeah.
Don't need it. I don't need it. I'm like, I have to have that vision for my display. And locally, you're talking about getting through your boxes and everything. And I'm like, I've been feeling that lately. I've been moving things around. I've had to move some pieces out. And sometimes my favorite pieces, or the pieces that I initially loved, are the ones that look so cool, are still some of the first that leave the display when something else that's more critical to my envision of the display comes out. And
so you cycle out.
So you cycle, right? And I'm like, you know what? I just can't do it to myself. If the secondary market for selling was what it used to be, where you could at least, recap some of most of your money, or at least get retail back, or one of those things, then maybe a different story. I wouldn't mind cycling it as much. But nowadays you're kind of just asking to lose a little bit of money. And I'm okay with that if it means that I got some serious enjoyment out of it anyways. But it's still a lot of work, some stress and all of those things. And I'm like, I just know, as cool as I think this is, if I put it in and I don't have a good vision for the display, it would be one of the first back up to the edge. So I'm just skipping it. I'm telling myself I don't need it, but the FOMO is real on this one for me, because he's freaking cool. He's a freaking cool character.
I get it. And it makes sense, right? It definitely does make sense, man. So I feel you on that. Sometimes you just got to be like, it looks good, but definitely not one that I need in my collection. So, bro, I feel you there. Me,
well, because then you get this, and then you're like, okay, well, then I need this one, and then I need this one, and then I need the chairs, and then I need the council, and then I need
yeah,
it just builds. It just builds.
I think for me though, it was the simple fact that this was the original idea in general, what I want. If this sticks to the original vision of what you wanted, because again, like I said, but for me, Star Wars has always been before, you know, my Marvel collecting. You know, there was my comic collecting, there's Star Wars, and then of course there's what we have in this, you know, the figure space. But this was the original idea, you know, to pretty much have this. So, you know, it kind of works out on that end. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing that isn't, you know, as good as it looks. We talk about the things that we don't need, and I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. I don't need this particular figure right here for a couple of different reasons, and I want to give that first and let everybody talk about it, because I know a lot of people have been waiting and expecting to get this. They were hoping for it, especially if you watch Deadpool Wolverine. Everybody wanted to actually get a patch. They were talking about, would we actually get a patch figure? And it looks like So Toys is basically jumped the gun, and they said, you know what, we're going to put this out first. Now, before anybody says anything, I just want to say it this way. No, I don't need this in my collection. No, I won't be getting this particular figure in my collection for a particular reason. Can't have them all. I don't need every version of Wolverine, to be quite honest. So I do want to say that. Number two, 3 different reasons. Number 2, I don't trust the jacket. I don't, because anybody who basically has size or So Toys figures in, those jackets, the all white has a tendency to turn yellow. I don't know what they do and how it won't maintain that space. And number 3, I don't have Blade yet. I still don't have my Blade. I still don't have any information about that Blade figure. So Toys, you were putting out all this stuff, but yet you have not even put out any type of transparent information about those other figures that we're still waiting on. So I'm not supporting anything that you're doing right now until you give me the ones that I'm actually waiting on, number 1. Number 2, I just don't need this in my collection because it wasn't one that spoke volumes for me. May have been for other people, but just not for me. Lou, is this one that you're going to get in your collection?
When Hot Toys put it out, I'm going to put it like that. And just going back to what you said, So Toys is kind of flaky on the information that they give out. Obviously, they probably got hit with a cease and desist when it comes to the comic book line, since FOMO Studios is smacking them, which, by the way, I got my Magneto in yesterday. If y'all know, y'all know. It's because Hono Studios is giving us the whole Secret Wars stuff, and that brings me back to when I was a kid going to the stores. So, you know, having it in that quality of soft goods, it hits that nostalgia, and that's what we're all here for. But this piece right here, it hits all the beats. But going back to what you said about the jacket, yes, if you guys have any of the third-party jackets that are white, they yellow over time, and that's due to the glue that they use. If they were to use like a UV resin, it doesn't change color, and the UV light can actually penetrate through the white fabric and actually adhere to itself. But obviously, you know, people don't know how to experiment. Mad scientist here, Loco Lou. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I disassemble my figures and show you like this motherfucker's fucked up. Pardon my swearing. But this figure right here, it's pushing me to say yes to want to acquire it. But by the time they actually dish it out, Hot Toys probably already put one in the bag and then this one down. Because proud owner of Weapon X. For those who don't know Weapon X, I'm talking about Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. Yes. This right here, I could see being artisan figure being pushed out by Hot Toys, and people will actually chase that versus anything else. And granted, it's accurate. The way the patch is on his sculpt, accurate. The hair, accurate. The face, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Is it perfect? No. But if you go with his head sculpt, that big ass bow tie, the big ass collar around his white shirt, right? The only thing that seems to fit him that we're worried about is the jacket, because it's an off-white, like almost like a pearlescent white.
Yeah.
And even his cuff links are so big. Look how big it is. He looks like he got little short arms. He looks like the short king trying to fit into Patch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to K-slay this figure. And I like third parties. I know I have plenty of them. But the claws are extra long on this one. It doesn't look like what we see with our traditional Wolverine. This looks more comic book inspired on, part of the claws. But this is not something I'm going to get, man, because I have to literally take a step back, not chase every single thing that comes out, because I know for a fact if I wait, Hot Toys will pull out, just like they did with Spider-Man. Granted, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I got me a real leather jacket from my third-party version that I bought a while back ago, and I still have it in my collection, and it's still holding up. The only thing that I could do is wait for Hot Toys to give us a better head sculpt, better, pose and articulation on the body, better quality. So slow. So slow. I'm still waiting for Blade. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm still waiting.
Yep. And that's basically where I'm at right now. Still waiting for Blade, and no type of information about it. So that's why I'm reserved on this piece.
Did you say that Hot Toys would pull out?
Wait. You said Hot Toys pull out? I'm sorry. They're making these figures like if they were making babies and have no child support to pay. I'm just saying.
Wow.
That's what they call the club. That's what they call it.
Happy Father's Day, everyone. Happy Father's Day.
Wow. Ben, is this one you're going to look or overlook?
Other Ben.
Ben Thomas.
Oh, I was gonna say Ben 1 or 2. Oh God. No. This is so I'm with you guys. I've been waiting for the CW Flash figures that I feel like they announced however long ago. Was that like 2 years ago already? Still, those are ones that I've been waiting on from them, and really no word on that yet. So slow, I think, is definitely the way this goes. The other thing is that 300 pieces here, exclusive to 300 pieces. Yeah. Man, that's going to go so quick anyways. I don't even know if I'd have a chance at trying, even if I actually really wanted to try. Yeah. And then lastly, what we've seen with the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine so far is those last 3 Wolverines, they've reused, I think, the same sculpt. Even with the artisan hair, right? So it honestly still wouldn't surprise me if they reused it one more time, put him in a suited body, and said, "Here's another exclusive from Hot Toys." And I mean, we saw that with the classic Loki. I think it was So Toys the classic Loki, and then Hot Toys responded with their own classic Loki, right? And that was a figure I never thought Hot Toys was actually going to touch, which is why the So one was appealing. Whereas this one seems like a little bit more of a bankable choice from Hot Toys. Give it to us at a low cost and do it again. Alternatively, I've also got, this will be my 4th Wolverine coming in from Hot Toys that I have in my collection. I've actually considered taking a head sculpt and just trying to kit bash it at some point myself. See if I can get an eye patch, get a suited body, and just have something kind of sitting in the background on its own terms without having to spend a whole bunch of money. So that might be a project for myself down the line, something that I could kind of make fun out of it. Because this is it doesn't look bad, but again, 300 pieces is such a limited number. I don't think I'll ever even have the chance, even if I wanted it. And at the end of the day, I would not be surprised to see Hot Toys just throw it at us for $265, and then everybody will cancel this one. Because I have seen some people even swap the likeness out with the Hot Toys likeness. Like I've seen some people have AI generated the face onto this one, and it does make this one look inferior. Like, while I don't think this one looks bad, when you see the Hot Toys likeness in comparison to the So likeness, it's inferior. So skip.
Definitely skip. Chewy, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
I'm the same as Lou. I'm waiting on the Hot Toys one. The fact that they've announced that So-So's doing this one, 100% to me says Hot Toys has already probably got this one in the works. I'm a big fan of Patch. I've always loved that version of Wolverine. All those the Madripoor Knights and the gray Mr. Fix-It.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff. That oh god, I would absolutely love to have this figure, but I want the Hot Toys one. I want the quality. I want the level of quality. And as far as the the recycled head sculpt, which yes, absolutely, that's what they're doing. As far as that, I don't have personally. I have no problem with that because for me, I've got the Weapon X pre-ordered. I'm going to, whenever they do it, and I know they're going to do it, I'm going to get that John Byrne. Absolutely.
Yes. That John Byrne brown suit. Yeah, we know that's coming.
I'm going to get that one. I would get this if this got announced. I've said this on the show before. All those variants of Wolverine, I want.
Yeah.
And they are all the for me in the past, except for the Short King, which would just be funny if they did it.
Yeah.
But
the Short King, man, we got Kidpool coming. I need a Short King. Give me
if they do it, hey, if they do it, I'll get it. But I don't know that they will.
Make it a
yeah. But I mean,
if
like
they did it,
if they did it, I'd probably have to get it. But other than that, I've got the yellow suit already, again, paid for, waiting. And just I all those variants of Wolverine I want. But I want the consistency of quality across the line of if it's Hot Toys, at least I know the head sculpt we've seen it already with the with some of those blogger photos. So we know they can do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to take any chances. With this one, I feel like I'd be taking a chance. But again, like Ben said, it's only 300. Like, what are the chances I would even get it anyway if I wanted it?
Yeah, definitely true.
But yeah, I'm a pass on this. I appreciate them taking a swing. I really do. I think that's great for them to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for what I know is coming from Hot Toys.
Yeah. You know what? I was looking at this real quick too. And if Hot Toys does it, you know what this figure and I already know people. I know there's some ideas and I know it's basically raw. So I'm not the first to say this. But honestly, look at the way this design, because the design looks good. I'm not going to front and say it doesn't, because the design looks absolutely fantastic. But if you wanted to cross mediums, bro, you can actually have him stand next to the James Bond figure that we actually
I knew you were going to say that.
Right?
Yes.
You could, bro. That shit would be fucking dope, right?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
That shit would be incredible, bro. Like,
not even Bond. You can even put this next to the Wick figures.
Oh yeah, you can do it all, bro. You can actually do it all. You could
or a little Harrison Ford head sculpt and do Indy.
Indy, if you want to do a swap out, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
See, look, here doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that throws me off. So slow. 300 pieces. So this is supposed to be coming out this month because that's what everyone's slating on their stuff. And the thing is this, we already know deterioration. This thing is not good. I am just saying this now. Hold on to your chips. Hold on to your chips. Hold on to your chips.
Yeah. Hey,
Hot Toys is coming.
Calvin, we got Supernova more in the bill. He's like,
y'all tearing this figure apart, man. Y'all tearing this piece to pieces, man. If this ain't Hot Toys, y'all be falling apart.
Supernova's face, bro. It's like he looking at y'all like, y'all motherfuckers, man.
That is some judgment in that look. He's judging them.
I feel like he's so disappointed in me.
Now I know. Now I feel bad.
See, the standard is Hot Toys. Third parties is acceptable knockoffs. So, like for instance, Rebel Tech has a knockoff that's taken the game away right now because they're doing different versions of Spider-Man using that 2.0 body. Now, granted, it's not the same 2.0, even though they reissued it several times, and this company took it over. The fact that they retooled it and is making money off of their retooling, off of their sculpts and engineering, that's the point. You don't know if the quality is good until you get it in hand, and when you do, you start to notice the imperfections in it. As a third-party collector, as a collector in general, when we say we want that quality, We want the quality. Like this one right here is quality. You got a leather jacket, you got the claws, you got the sculpt, the paint, you even get a base with it.
Yeah.
It's nice. This is the standard.
Yeah.
In arts, above and beyond.
To tag into that though, Lou, like I think because I agree with you on the quality, but I also like Sosu Toys for the gaps in the collection that I don't think Hot Toys is going to give us, right? And this is just one of those ones that would be shocked if they didn't. Whereas like I think what Doctrinator said, some of his favorite Kamen Riders, Classic Black coming. Like there's other characters that I think Sosu Toys is perfect for, the ones that I don't think we'll get from the other. Because then I'm okay to be a little sacrificial on quality just to have the representation of the character in the display. But if I think Hot Toys, the official party, is going to give me a character I want, then that's when I want to truly.
Most definitely. But here's the problem with the third party stuff is that when you do happen to get it in hand, depending on how you collect and how you pose, you can take a third party figure and make it into trash. Automatic.
You could destroy it by accident.
I just, again, with So-So, it's not to take away from the artistry. It's good. It's just that the material sometimes is lackluster with these white jackets. And I say that specifically because I have that Big Boss Man, and that damn figure is as beautiful as it is. It turned yellow as soon as I took it out the box because of the simple fact that, again, it's the glue that they're using. And So-So Toys, yes, they release great product. But we have been waiting almost 3 years for that blade. 3 fucking years for that blade. And it's insane with no information on it at all. So that's why I'm like, it's not that I'm tearing this apart. I'm just staying away from it because there's other figures out there we're waiting on we still haven't gotten. So, and they prioritize. For some reason, they put certain figures ahead of others, even though the other figure was produced before, or if it was, the prototype was shown before. Calvin, what you think about this piece, bro? You gonna get it in, or you be like, I'm good?
No.
He's just said no.
Where's my blade at?
Where my blade at? That's it, man. Where my blade at?
One other thing with what's my man's name? Because have we invited him on before and he's never come on with us?
Oh,
you just had him up. What was his name?
Supernova Moore.
So I see the face, and we all know what we think his voice sounds like.
Yeah,
he sounds like Freeway the rapper.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. What if he does?
Remember we saw Freeway hit the scene, and we're like, "Oh yeah, he about to kill." He started rapping like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, bro, like real small. Like, but Supernova just looked like he always disappointed in some shit. Like,
you motherfuckers tripping.
He looked like he Suge Knight's cousin. That's what he looked
like. Bro. Anyway, man.
So is it the glue that turns yellow on the So-So ones? Is it oxidizing? Is that what's happening, or
that's a part of it, bro. Reaction that happens with the glue. Yeah. Plus it's a type of glue that they use. So with fabrics, they stick to fabric glue, but if it's aged already, it applies clear, but then over time it goes on yellow. Even if it is up to date as far as the expiration date on the glue, it still turns yellow over time. But this is why I suggested UV resin, because it goes on clear. It doesn't change color. But as far as anything else goes, man, look, you got different avenues you want to go. If you want to pick it up, I'm not gonna knock you for getting it. I'm talking myself out of it because I know if Hot Toys is giving us an artisan Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, this is going to be a no-brainer, and people will cough up money for tailoring on a suit with Wolverine in it, and all you have to do is give him some poker cards. Give him some cards. You got to give him some cards and a whiskey.
A little drink. A little drink.
That's it.
Yeah.
You give them those two things. Everyone else will provide a table. They'll set the environment. They'll get any one version of their Deadpool walking up to him, getting clawed the hell up. I'm telling you, Hot Toys, if you do this as another exclusive, because I think this is one of those figures that is worthy of an exclusive because it's not the main character. You saw him for a few seconds. This is why I accept Age of Apocalypse Wolverine as a exclusive, and what I think nice pull should have been an artisan edition and an exclusive, but I'm glad he's not because I don't have to chase him. But this right here, like, even if you make it exclusive and it's not rooted and it's just sculpted like this, and you make it exclusive, people will chase this shit.
Yeah, I don't need it to be artisan at all. I'm fine with sculpted.
That's my point.
Sick of the exclusives. If they, and I'm tired. I'm sorry. If they make it exclusive, just count me out. I'm just sorry. It's just, you can count me out of that because I'm tired of it, bro. There's only certain things that I'm willing to do it for. That Age of Apocalypse was one that I wanted because I was like, yo, that speaks to me, especially the comic accurate version. But now I'm out. X, man. You're very exactly right. You and Ben are very disciplined. But I'm starting with you, bro. Like, what's your thoughts on this piece, man?
Ooh, I mean, am I going to get it? No.
Exactly.
However, if let's say that Hugh Jackman was not in, the last Deadpool film, and we'd never seen him in this particular outfit, and Hot Toys had never taken a stab at it, then this would be a rather impressive release. From Susu. So I will say that, it for what it is, it looks good. Perfect? No. But very few things, if anything, are ever perfect. But that being said, now I believe there's more of a chance that Hot Toys will do this as an exclusive than before. Why? I mean, yes, they've left money on the table in the past, but I think that this, is one that they could make. They've got the head sculpt. Why not put a patch on it? Take some of the clothes you plan on using for the James Bond releases that you may have planned, and just put it on Hugh Jackman and call it a day, and just get it out there. So you could wait, or you could try to get one of 300. Which is it gonna be?
Yeah, definitely. Ben, finally, man, what's your thoughts on this, man? Listen, I know you're like, it's easy for me. I can pass this shit up, but what's your thoughts on it, bro?
Yeah, like, it's cool, like, I mean, I think like the experience you're having with Blade, it just feels like a gamble every time you pre-order with these third-party companies that, like, and not knowing where you stand and stuff like that. So I just feel like the third-party companies should change their model and just drop figures. They should just drop them and watch everyone clamber and because I don't think the pre-order model works as well for them in the long run anyway, because people are cancelling and going for the Hot Toys version when that drops, which I think it probably is inevitable that will happen. Do you know what would be cool if it came with like a half set of claws that you could somehow attach to Deadpool's head? So like, with his hand behind and have it look like that would be cool. And like, it would be awesome to have like a Big Joe fix it next to him, but that'll never happen.
True.
Piece. Again, like, going back to what I was talking about, like, completionists, like, you've got the montage there, you've got Age of Apocalypse patch, we're never going to get a Short King, really. It would be funny, but it's very likely that will never happen. Will we get a Cavalrine as well? That's probably up in the air. And, for me, I feel like once I've got this in the Age of Apocalypse, then I kind of want them all. So it is cool, and hopefully, as Lou says, they drop it in the next month or so, and it's not that kind of long purgatory that we experience with third party companies. So.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm all right with it, man. I'm definitely okay with it. And here again, we talk about exclusives, and I think this lets you know how much interest I had in this, because I think this basically went up on Friday. And I'm guessing it's probably already sold out. I'm not really sure, but I didn't go after it specifically for a reason. It wasn't. We have this here, the Last Stand Peter Parker suit. One that I wasn't really going after. One that I didn't even really use in the game at all. I used it once and then moved on from it. But it wasn't one that I was actually clamoring for. Not to take away from those who wanted it, but again, I just wasn't playing the whole exclusive game. That's why I didn't actually even do an exclusive show in this one, because it wasn't one that I was really after. Lou, you have a version of this one already, I think, don't you? You have
he's
one
backstage.
Oh, he's backstage. I think he got put out.
He got
a little
booted
bit. Yeah, I think he basically has.
I have it.
This...
I'm bringing it out now. Give me a second.
I'll come back. I'll come back. Yeah, go ahead,
before Lou goes, I got to head out, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Let's get nuts in 3 hours. So 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you guys are still hanging out later this afternoon on Father's Day, jump in. Would love to have you guys. Anybody in the panel, of course, you're always welcome on the show as panelists and guests anytime as well. So, but yeah, let's get nuts this afternoon. But dude, otherwise, I love you guys. Thanks for having me. Happy Father's Day to you boys out there and everybody. And I'll see you guys next time. So,
my man,
good to see you guys.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here, man.
Hey, Ben.
Always. See you later, old brother.
Later, guys.
Later, brother.
All right, man. So we have Ben Thomas in here, man. Of course, Lou, you said you actually have this in hand. This is one that you basically had
a custom in hand, and I've had this for a while. And this has genuine leather or real leather, if you want to go that route. And I haven't had zero issues. Still good. As you see, like I put it to the ringer, like I posed the shit out of it. Now, I did get this one. I did get this exclusive, and there's reasons for it. The jacket being pleather, from what I saw in the review, they equate it to the suit of Deadpool as far as texture is concerned, right? So, if they're doing the jackets in leather-like material, and granted, we all know it to be pleather, but if it's similar to what they've been using on the suits as far as the screen printing technology, then I'm not so worried about it, because that means it has the ability to snap back. What I am worried about is the magnetic arm attachments for the waldos, because sharp edges they will pierce. I did see a way to modify it with one of the inserts that's black insert foam. Trace it out, put it in, attach it, to the back of it, make it glue, and stick to it like me on you and whatnot. And my wife just passed by, the beautiful woman she is. Yeah, she got to get her 5 seconds of fame. I love her, but the head sculpt is what sold me on this. I love the magnetic feature because it's different, and if anyone notices, because you've played the game, this is the first battle damage or weathered figure we get. So when you get a little bit of damage during the game, you start to see tears, wears, dust upon your character as you're playing throughout the game. This even goes according to the Waldos. So if you're getting messed up in the game and you're playing it on extreme, you start to see a little tear on yourself. You see some battle damage. You see some flesh coming out of your skin. In this particular suit, you start to see a little bit of that going on. The jacket, it's weathered. The new pieces are the Oscorp container that's holding Venom, which is great as an exclusive piece, because if you are a fan of Venom like I am, you want every aspect of Venom to tell a story on your shelf. That's one. Two, we also get another gadget that's introduced into the game that we can add to the gadgets that we get with Spider-Man. For instance, if you got the first advanced suit, you got the spider drone, and you got the web line that is a trap that you could attach to a wall via magnet, and there's a zip line there that can quote unquote capture an enemy. That's there, plus the different versions of the web shooters. This gives us that new one, which is the hovering drone that shoots like electricity in the air, but also can shoot webbing. I think it's the electricity that it just stuns people and have them flying in the air for a moment. And that's nice. Plus, they reused the thrusters from Iron Man just to, make sure they're not spending a buck. Plus, we get the Waldos as well. I know a lot of people are getting sick of it, but it is a part of the game, and this is a game line feature. But the figure looks awesome even without the arms.
Yeah.
If you do happen to be one of the people that are like me that like this suit, that know that this is Spider-Man's last stand, an alternate universe where Spider-Man breaks his rule and finally kills a person, and his first kill was Craven with the spear in the black suit, and then after that killing everyone else like Doc Ock with his own tentacle. It plays a factor on Spider-Man's psyche, which later determines how he chooses things moving forward, and that's on a specific run. This suit in the game, I played it towards the end of the game doing side missions. I enjoyed this. This is one that speaks to me because it's a reversible jacket. It's the one that he dies in. This is like the Dark Knight Returns Batman, but for Spider-Man. That's why it's called the Last Stand suit. Basically standing for like, you guys are gonna put him in jail and they're gonna come out again, and I'm gonna have to deal with him. So I dealt with him, and y'all can't do nothing about it. And he goes after it, and then he gets excommunicated, if you will.
Yeah.
So for me, this is a buy. I grabbed it. I know people may think otherwise, like, oh, the pleather, this, that, and the third. But with the recent materials that Hot Toys been using, I'm sure that this suit is going to stand the test of time as long as you take care of it, look at it, make sure that it's good, and you don't go crazy with the posing. But it's nice, and I have it. I have it. I'm just waiting for it to arrive, and that right there, it's a figure that's worthy of an exclusive because it's niche, and I think exclusives should be niche figures or side characters that get maybe 5-6 seconds, maybe even 10 seconds of screen time on a film or in a video game, or is not the main suit but a secondary or tertiary suit that people may or may not like. So giving it the lower quantity, giving it more opportunity for people to get. I think it was still available like yesterday, but as far as I'm concerned, if you don't want it, perfect. It makes it available for those who are like me, completists for the Spider-Man line, but also it saves you money to get some something else like CC10 or another Vader or somebody else, so you don't have to get it if you don't want it. But
I'm good. I'm straight up good, but I'm happy for everybody else that will definitely get it. Is anybody else on the panel here getting this? Anybody else basically welcoming this into their collection?
No.
I mean, how many Spider-Men does it take to screw in a light bulb? But this is still available on the Sideshow site.
Yeah, it
so
is.
If you want to go and grab it.
Yeah, it is definitely still up. So if you want to get it, I again, it's nothing to take away from the suit, but like I said, I mean, I can't have them all, and I already
it's
have
a really
enough
cool look. Like it's a great, like it's the creative, the design of it is really, really cool. But yeah, it's just not, it doesn't do anything for me. So
but I absolutely adore this game. I absolutely
100%
it's Spider-Man 2. I did every single thing in that game.
Quick sidebar, just so you know, if you guys ever read the Spider-Verse, this particular Spider-Man and about 2 or 3 others like Assassin Spider and the Spider-Woman from Old Man Logan, they were the only ones willing to kill to get the job done. And this is the one, these are the individuals, the spiders that were a part of the initial team of Superior Suit Spider-Man. So if you want to do a little something, there's your little, loophole. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. In the interest of time, though, like I said, I mean, I like it, but again, I can't. I gotta kind of breeze past it because, again, there's so much. There's so much to even basically within this universe. There's still more figures out there that I still have, ordered, that I'm waiting on. So again, something had to get sacrificed
around the corner too.
Yeah, so I kind of have to stay away from this. I want to move into this particular space here too, like I said, because I know we've been here for some time and people got stuff to do, so we're gonna kind of flash past these real quick. Sassy Teen is actually coming here. Ben. Ben. It's like, damn, they just released. I just got a chance to get Kid Fisto, and then they just throwing all this shit at me. What's your thoughts on this, bro?
Lord have mercy on my soul. Look, I think it needs to be here. It does fall in those very strict guidelines that I've set myself.
Yeah.
But 100% not pre-ordering this. Like it's something that, like Kit, once it's actually released, I will try and get it. Because with that as well, if I can't get it for whatever reason, it's not the end of the world, because there will be other Jedi Council people that are released, that could fit that collection that I'm kind of aiming for as well. So, but I would absolutely love this. I do feel like they've missed a trick by not doing that awesome armor, the helmet, the helmet and stuff. That would have been really, really cool.
Yeah.
So whether really we get some kind of custom of that out there, I'd like that. But no, he looks amazing. The face really holds a lot of emotion for a creature design sort of thing. He really looks quite sad. Bless him. I want to give him a little cuddle and see if he's okay. But this is awesome. I check back in 2 years and I'll let you know if I've got him or not. But I would like him very much.
Yeah. And Press X, this was the one where you were like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on this one.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, if we're ranking Jedi, it's like, okay, this is where it starts to get into it looks cool, but no, not right away. Maybe later on down the line, but as of right now, because right now I'm actually alternating back to the original trilogy and thinking, do I need Ponda Baba? Because if I'm going if I'm going for side characters, which do I need more of? Do I need Bib Fortuna or do I need Sassy Teen? Some would say both, but if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Bib Fortuna before I choose Sassy Teen. But I do think it turned out it's looking good. The side pieces, what are those, horns? That's an interesting color for them. I don't know how accurate that is, but overall, I think the figure turned out. He does look sad. You're right, Ben. He does look kind of sad. It's almost like he's walked into a fight that he doesn't know.
He knows his fate.
He's just like, why did I agree to go along with these guys? They said anyone else, and I said sure. But yeah, you're right. Had he come with that helmet, then I may have been persuaded. But as of right now, he's gonna have to. That's exactly the one. Right there. Like, you're gonna go all in. But
they've really dropped the ball by not just putting that on.
It's unfortunate because you could have just popped the head off, pop that helmeted head on, and it would have been great. But you can't have it all unless someone wants to 3D print one, which I'm sure people will. In which case, I can't wait to see those. Photos. But no, I'm glad for anyone who's getting the entire Jedi Council, because you're going to have a really sick display on your hands.
Yeah, most definitely, man. You already know how that is, Calvin, man. I mean, I'm sorry, Chewy, man. What's your thoughts on this, bro?
I'm like I said, I'm gonna finish as much of the council as I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was something that's pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it mostly because, or at least I pre-ordered it now mostly because of how quickly Kit Fisto went to waitlist. Because I think they're possibly counting on people building the Jedi Council to want to pick this up. So I just didn't want to take a chance that if I give it a couple of weeks and then go, okay, let's pre-order it, and then I see join the waitlist on the thing, and I'll be, oh. But yeah, I think the figure looks great. I like how sad he looks. I think that's a great face sculpt, because I mean the actor in the makeup, most of the prosthetic is on top of his head, like the rest of it is makeup effects. So you're actually getting the actor's face in a way.
Yeah.
So it allows for the emotional. You get the emotion from looking at him. But the more I'm looking at it now, I'm actually wondering if those are actually horns. Because the helmet, they come out to the side. The helmet. Now that could just be an animation choice because it was in the cartoon.
Yeah.
But maybe those aren't horns and maybe they just fit in there.
I'm not even going to tell you what somebody said these look like.
That's the thing, is like, if they're not horns, what are they?
Blowing the wind.
Oh,
bro, somebody said this look like dog with pink meat, bro. Like I was
I the minute you said that, I knew where somebody went with it.
He's excited in this picture, and we just didn't realize it. 5 minutes later, they go in.
The color is just a little too suggestive, and
Wow.
and they look wet.
My house when I get home and he's ready to see me.
bro. Damn.
Why do his horns look wet?
Just twice.
Oh,
damn, that's fucked up. Now you can't look at it the same.
Why do you gotta do that? Oh man. Oh God, I'm gonna have to try and not think of that anymore.
No, think about it and try to have a smile on your face, like.
Yeah. Okay.
His bro's like he got that face after he saw Shakti. Bro, this is funny, bro. Fucked up. Anyway.
Oh man. Oh God.
Calvin, your thoughts on this piece, bro?
Not for me. This is an easy pass. I didn't know who the hell this was until I heard you guys discuss it. I think Ren sent me this, and I was like, "Who?" I had a Mike Jones moment. This took me back to the early 2000s. Mike Jones, who? Mike Jones, who? I was like, "Fuck is that?" And Saucy 10, I was like, "Yeah, that ain't for me. I'm cool, easy pass." So, but yeah, them horns, that's some other shit right there.
I think I called him CC Tin for about 15 years.
I don't actually even know how to pronounce it.
Is it? Well, they said it's Sassy. It's supposed to be pronounced like a Sassy teen. From what it says phonetically, they're saying that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. But I don't know.
Sassy.
I love all the Clone Wars armor, the gauntlets they give them too. Like that's like great.
They kind of mix it between both. Yeah.
You can go to You can make them Clone Wars figures. You can make them Episode 3 figures. You can do whatever you like. The options are great.
Yeah, which was the original concept for even Attack of the Clones, that we were supposed to see him in the armor, but they never went with it. So they just did it in the Clone Wars animated. So, Lou, is this one you gonna get, or you passing on?
No, I'm getting it. This is one of the first aliens that's a Jedi that's male that has purrs. So
that's
granted, he has a sad face, but what happens when you behind Kit Fisto and thinking that he's the baller, and then he gets his ass sliced up by Darth Sidious, Count Dooku? You're like this. The Count ain't doing shit. Oh fuck! He put a lightsaber out. Oh, done. You know what I mean?
He do got that bruh face. like bruh. And then that's it.
But all in all, this is what I've been preaching for years when it comes to Star Wars. Clones, I get it. There's so many different factions. You could go, to the moon with it. Droids, yes, get it. But you can get the same thing with Cyberpunk when it comes to, droids, robots, and shit like that.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna have Star Wars with no aliens? And that was my argument. You know what I mean? Like, granted, we got a Yoda, but we just got a Yoda. Where's everyone else? Now they're bringing out everyone else. Granted, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you thought about it as a kid collecting the Kenner stuff, you would chase that 30 seconds of film on that card because it was available to get, and you had the whole entire wave. And you go to the Sandlot, you bring that one Jedi that nobody got. You're like, yeah, I'm the shit, because everybody wants this. They can't have it. No, everyone has an opportunity to get it, but how many will actually get it before it goes waitlist? That's up to you. Me,
it's true.
I always give myself about a month for a lock-in, but you don't know unless it's a person of color. And I'm gonna say it like this, because Captain America, how you gonna make him go waitlist real quick? The Hulk is still available. Like, come on.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
I just noticed he's got the same expression on his face as Supernova Moore. Just that judging look.
He does.
Like, oh, hanky panky, yo.
He does, right?
This is the look on my wife's face when she sees another box show up at the door. This motherfucker right here.
Same face. Toy and me making, bro. Toy's little ass nose can smell boxes from work, bro. So that's how it be.
No lie is safe.
No lie is safe. You already know that.
You know the truth.
Exactly. Last, we got to get across to this one, man. Of course, one that I know a lot of people, clone collectors have been waiting for. And if you are a fan, I mean, Five's arc was so tragic in the Clone Wars. Him and Echo, and this is basically the first of the two. I'm surprised they didn't release them at the same time. But we have Fives that's definitely been released, which we knew they were actually. This looks great. This right here looks great. I know Commander Green is excited about this. I know CC is actually CT6. So I know he's basically excited about it. But yeah, anybody on the panel excited about this figure, man?
Oh yeah,
you excited about it, bro?
I've been collecting all of the named clones, like the ones that actually have character names and things like that. I have two of the 501st, the original run of those two 501st. I got two of those. That one, right? Or I think that's one of them there. I've got Rex. I've got Jesse. I've got Vaughn. I've got like all the ones that had names. The second I got the thing for this that it said they were going to do these, I was like, yeah, absolutely. I want Fives and I want Echo, and I have Echo for the Bad Batch. But as soon as this came up, I was 100%. I want both of these. So I had both of those pre-ordered. I think I've got like one payment left on each of them. So, I was so happy. I was so happy for these because I'm gonna have a nice little Clone Wars collection now, which is great. Little display.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody else out here getting this, man, or is it going to be wait on this one?
No. I know my reuse and my Captain Tarpools like that, but like when it comes to troopers and stuff like that, it was always bottom of the thing that I loved about Star Wars, weirdly enough. Which I know will be sacrilege for many people out there. Commander Green right now is like, what?
I know. Like I said, I'm definitely going to get him in Echo, but I was really, really picky about which ones I was going to actually get. But I knew I love both Fives and Echo, so definitely will have in my collection. But we'll see. I want to move on from this one real quick here, though, really quick, because Calvin, bro, Calvin, bro. Calvin, bro. I gotta talk to you, bro. I gotta talk to Calvin real quick. Cause Calvin, bro, listen, dude. Listen, bro.
Yeah.
Calvin,
There
bro.
we go.
I ain't afraid no
Calvin,
ghosts.
Calvin, bro. Calvin, bro.
Yeah.
About damn time. That's all I got to say. It's about time.
Well, damn time, bro. I know you are super duper excited over this.
So
bro.
just so y'all know, like, this isn't me trying to act cool. This is just me. I'm nonchalant about shit. I don't show emotion. Now on the inside, I'm doing cartwheels, but on the outside. Now remember, I have a retailer, personal retailer, so I've had my shit ordered for like a month now.
Yeah.
Been confirmed. I know I'm good. I'm locked in. I put my deposit. I think I send it to them tomorrow. But once when they go up live, first off, I would hit both rays. Hit up both rays. Try and get them to lock in.
Yeah.
Collector's Zone. I know he said he's put it up on Friday. I heard Josh at Common Concepts. I think he's having it. From what I've been told, Blitzway is trying to squeeze out the middleman, the smaller retailers, and trying to force everybody to go directly through them. And it's already a limited quantity as it is. My guy only got 10. So he had to confirm that several times over to make sure he knew exactly what his number was. So if you want these, don't fuck around. Get on the website or, like I said, or find your retailer, lock it in, because they're really trying to just squeeze out the middleman and not make these very accessible. So if you want them, don't fuck around. There's a 4-pack, there's a 3-pack, and there may be individuals. I'm not sure what they're doing as far as the individual size, but definitely a 4-pack special edition. We're getting the Slimer. I just don't know what else we're getting with this. And then 3-pack with just the doctors. Why you want that, I don't know.
That's kind of messed up. I don't know.
And, but like I said, I think they're doing individuals as well. So I don't know. But lock them in. Friday, whatever time they go up, just be ready to lock that shit in. Because
and I know you were sprawl. Like you put in the chat as soon as this shit, because it was you that I saw first to put the shit in the chat. I was like, fucking finally, bro.
I happened to see it. I forgot where I saw it. I was like, oh shit, they finally, because like I said, I've been on my guy, bro. When they come. Now, granted, he's giving me behind the scenes info for a while now. And that's why as I get little things, I get tidbits out, to the group. But I'm just happy that they finally made the announcement, because they're doing hot toy shit. Ghostbusters Day was last Saturday. Why is this shit 2 weeks after the fact? Should have had all that locked in and just did it last Saturday, but it is what it is. But I'm glad they're finally announcing it. They gave us a date. I just want to get the official pricing, get officially what it is that we're getting as far as contents in the box, and when do we expect. I know I've seen expected Q1 of 26, but price makes it locked in. CJP, I've heard 1,200 for the 4-pack is the price I'm getting. I'm not sure about the 3-pack or the individuals yet, but 1,200 for the 4-pack, especially.
Word. Before because I'm gonna go to everybody else, but there's one person that I
Ben, you chose the wrong week to quit smoking. You chose the wrong week to come back to work.
Ben started sweating.
Look at Ben. Bro,
this is what happens when the toy companies start spitting out fire, man. When you start making us thinking about life decisions right now.
I just sold my pack as well. So there's a space for some Ghostbusters.
There you go.
Life right now.
Bro.
Well, the tick is back.
You got to make a decision.
Bro, like I know it's a hurt piece, man.
It's just such a big, to have all 4 at once. Couldn't there just been 2 in the group? Do you know what I mean? That would have made everyone's life easier.
Yeah.
The Slimer, the new sculpt on Slimer looks incredible. You know what's rough though? Like 6 p.m. that time is 2 a.m. for us in the UK. So that's going to be rough.
In your face, you was like, fuck. You didn't want to say it, but I look at your face. You was, even when I put it up, I saw your face, and you were like, fuck. It's okay.
I mean, they are perfect. Like,
I'm
I'm so glad that everybody's getting a second chance for this, but I just can't.
You just like,
I just can't. Like, it's not even. There's no realm of possibility where I can drop this kind of money, especially because I just bloody ordered Kit Fisto for Christ's sake. So,
right?
You know, it is what it is. You know, but these are. I'm just really happy for Ghostbuster fans. It's
hell yeah. Shout out to my baby in the chat. Yeah, babe, I'm getting done. I'm about to get done here soon. I just wanted to talk about this. She said, "Happy Father's Day to all the amazing geeks fathers out there." Yo, this is her saying,
"You ain't getting this. Don't even try."
You already know.
X, you might as well just go and put this pre-order in. You know you're gonna get this, bro. Yeah, don't act like you ain't. This Ghostbusters and this nostalgia.
It goes great with your vinyl collection.
You already know you're going.
It goes with your vinyl collection.
Who are these people again? Are they janitors, or like, what are they supposed to be? Why does that guy have so many hot dogs in his mouth? Wait, I already know the answer to that. I like the fact that I grew up watching Ghostbusters. I grew up watching the real Ghostbusters on repeat. Is this something I'm going to get? No. And the reason being is there's just too much that I have coming. If I didn't have half the things that I have on pre-order on the way, then I would absolutely do this in anticipation of an Ecto 1 2.0, which for many people saying, oh, it's out of the question. Is it? Is it really? Because now I think anything's possible. So, but no, this is one that I'm happy that they finally announced for, an actual date, because, talk about tease. But I can't wait to see, what the actual finished product looks like and what they come with. And it's weird that I'm still kind of weirded out about here's the Doctor 3-pack. It's like, that's okay. I see what you're doing, but at the same time, that's a little weird.
It looks bad.
It looks it looks bad, and I may be overthinking it, but
I understand. I think I understand where they're coming from with it. I think it's because if you're a big fan of the original movie, the main poster, it's just the three of them. Like Winston didn't come in until near the end of the last half of the movie. Yeah. So I mean, I guess from that perspective, I think maybe it gives people a cheaper option. So I think that's what it is.
Originally, Winston was supposed to be Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
So imagine that being Eddie, who would have been on the poster? It would have been a big ass face of Eddie and the three guys underneath.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true.
Eddie Murphy would have definitely been. Oh damn! Imagine if it was Eddie, bro.
Imagine now it was AI.
I'm kind of glad that it wasn't, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad that I love Ernie Hudson. I think he brings a realism to it that I think
he brings a realism and a humor that you don't. It's like, not to say that he can't be funny, but he brings a humor to it, this unexpected humor that you just embrace and makes him more of a beloved character.
Yeah, and that's the gag, isn't it? That he's just doing it for a paycheck, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
It works.
He represents the audience. He represents
the everyday person, the person who's not the scientist, but who's there. That kind of stands up for all of us who are just like, hey, you need a guy? I'm that guy. I'm that dude. You know what I mean? And I'm cool. And I'm cool as shit doing it. So,
tell him about the Twinkie.
No. He's not talking about the Twinkie. He said, if there's a steady paycheck in it, I believe anything you say.
Yeah.
Also, let's keep things in perspective. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. But the other two versus Ernie Hudson. Black don't crack.
Nope.
Yeah, you're right.
It's so true. That man
Ernie
looks
Hudson's
great right now.
He's
Yeah.
like 70. What is he? 78?
And you see, bro,
77?
like he's ripped.
He's yoked.
He's
I met him about 6 years ago, I think it was now, and he just looks like
He looks great.
incredible. And he was so warm and kind, and he actually wore a flight suit in the photo ops. So you're like, it really felt like you were just stood next to a Ghostbuster, which was
I'll tell you this much. You know what it is, and this is canon. The three doctors got to meet Slimer. Slimer fucked all of them up, and the only one that didn't get to meet Slimer was Winston. And Winston's like this. Yeah, I just need my paycheck. Just tell me what.
pretty much that's what it's all about. So I'm guessing, Lou, you're going after these.
You damn Skippy. You damn Skippy. By any means necessary. So I actually got I opened an account with Blitzway USA just to make sure that it's connected to my shop link, so that way I could just lock these bad boys in. Because granted, I missed out on the first one, and I planned on getting the first one because for the price, it was pretty much awesome. It was awesome. It was the creme de la creme, and right now we're getting that times 2. So, you know, if you can say creme de la creme 4 times over, you know, you're getting what you want. And this right here with the new Slimer, that's appreciated because we didn't get to see Slimer in the teasers. They only showed us 2 of the same head sculpts and all the new head sculpts on the bodies, with the new tailoring on the zippers being smaller and, you know, everything fitting a little bit more, you know, to scale. So if we're going by what they showed and what they're teasing now, I'm hoping that Slimer is not just a static piece, but also has interchangeable head to give us back that first head sculpt that he's sticking out his tongue, you know, flying away. So if they give us that as a separate, you know, piece that, you know, is just the head in the front of the belly and then swap it out for that and it still glows in the dark, that's going to be a bonus piece. But I think also what should stay in the pack, Blitzway, if you're listening, keep that police barricade. It's a timestamp. You cannot get away from a timestamp when New York thought that a piece of 4x4 wood was going to stop cars from going into an intersection. Okay? You need that. And then you get the sign. Like,
I hope the sign comes with it.
Listen, I'm hoping more so for the barricade than the sign, because the sign I can't hang anywhere. I have to build that whole doorway. But give me the barricade, I can put that anywhere.
Yeah, definitely, man. I listen, man, and I Chewy, I didn't know. Are you getting this or no?
Oh yeah, I've been a Ghostbusters fan since I used to. That was my go-to Halloween costume.
Yeah,
every year for like a good 5 years after that. My thing with Ghostbusters was we went to see it in the theater with my family. And then a week or 2 later, we went to see another movie with my family. My parents took us all to see Tootsie.
Yeah.
Those of you who remember Tootsie.
Yeah.
And,
I remember that.
I literally got up to go to the bathroom at one point, and I went to the next door, the next theater next door. Ghostbusters had just started. I just went in and sat down and watched Ghostbusters.
Damn, that's what's up.
My parents didn't know where I was. They were freaking out. And then my dad was like, hold on, I want to go look in here. And he literally came in looking for me and found me. And then he sat there and watched it with me.
That's what's up.
That's what we call reinforcement. That's positive reinforcement.
Sorry, boy. I got an exclusive picture that I ain't gonna show, but you know, Mama Lil Key sent me a picture of Calvin when he was little with his with the suit on, Proton Pack, and a Jerry curl. So I got that.
Look at Calvin.
You had everything right but the Jerry curl. That's the only thing I messed up.
What is the time conversion? 1800, is that Pacific? So that's West Coast.
1800 is military time for 6.
So well, PDT, what's that?
Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So 1800. So it'll be what would that be here? 3?
If it's 6 there, because they're like what 3 hours behind. It's
Yeah. So
yeah.
So it'll be 3 o'clock here, I guess, or is it 9 o'clock here? Which one is it? I don't know. I forget.
So if it's 6 there, it would be 9 p.m. Eastern here.
Okay,
hold on. It said PDT
on the East Coast.
It doesn't say PST. PST
Right.
is Pacific Standard Time. What's
Specific?
PDT?
Yeah.
I don't know what
PDT is what I don't know. That's what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
wondering.
no. That's a
To the
good question.
internet.
I just caught myself.
Yeah.
Because we could all end up going at the wrong time looking for it, and we all miss it.
Thank you. Yeah, we could.
Pacific Daylight Time.
Daylight time. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So it's still Pacific then, though. It's
So
still the same.
Yeah, still Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
So-
Still 2 a.m. in the bloody morning for us.
Okay, yeah. So it's
2
9. So it's 9 o'clock p.m. here.
So yeah, 9 o'clock p.m. So there we go.
I don't know as far as Blissway Direct. I know my deposit, I'm being asked to give $150 for my deposit.
Okay.
That's not bad.
What's the date? When do we know when they're being released? They're
Friday.
actually going to be out.
Oh, release? Don't know.
Yeah.
I heard Q1 of 26.
Okay.
All right, definitely.
Blissway's releasing a lot of stuff in Q1 26. I mean, that DeLorean's Q1 26.
What's
Well,
this
will be
in terms of
Q1
us?
26.
Pacific Daylight Time.
It gives you 3 months. Q1 gives you 3 months, so you could drop it within that, first quarter. So
Hopefully it ain't January because I hate when shit hits after Christmas.
you telling me, bro? Shit.
Well, I mean, there's that Catwoman 2-pack from Jazz Inc. that's going to be Q1
Ooh,
26.
2026, man.
Frankenstein
Yeah, gotta get ready for that.
around then as well.
Frankenstein.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
Everybody get your shekels.
You already know. But anyway, man, definitely was so great discussion, everybody all around, man. Didn't anticipate going this long, but it was definitely needed in the very beginning. So I definitely appreciate y'all. Got some things to do for Father's Day. Anyway, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Make sure that you follow along with everybody here on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you actually see in platforms, whether it's also YouTube as well. Make sure you do so. Ben, man, don't let this be the last time we see you, bro. Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
It
do
won't.
that, bro.
Quick question. Do you still have your page up or?
Nah.
No. So I completely wiped
I feel
everything.
you, bro.
I
hate being on with these fuckers sometimes. I'm like, y'all just keep me in my pocket. He got me stuck in like 3 other things: prints, vinyls, and a few other things. So, these dudes,
I have got a new
bad for your pocket.
Instagram page venture, which is at Daft Minifig. So if you search Daft Minifig, and I'm the little green Darth Maul Lego head, I'm posting all my Lego photography and edits up there, which I'm having a lot of fun with. I got to say as well, without getting emotional or anything, like I've missed Hot Toys and 1/6 scale figures, but I've just really missed talking to people about it. My wife will either no sell. Wrestling fans know what that means. What I say, or it'll be met with very minimal conversation. So it's just a joy to be able to chat with people that are as passionate as me about Kit Fisto. Definitely not the last time. And thank you so much for having me today. It's been great.
Hell yeah, bro. Whenever you already say the word, man. Boom. As soon as you said it, I didn't even say, hey, whatever. I just sent you the link. That's it.
I did. I had 20 minutes. I was like, what if
I just sent the link. Man. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So that's definitely thank you for being here and everybody out there for supporting the channel and being here with us again. Couple things that we got going on with Comic Book Talk with Friends tomorrow night, of course. A lot of things we're going to be talking about there in that particular space. Say What Wednesday, Uncivilized. I don't know what are we. You know what? There is something that I wanted to talk about, X, and that's with the conversation that we're going to have about the possible acquisition, or actually the possible passing of the torch to 2 other individuals that we don't know. So I do want to talk about that and where your feelings are and where our feelings are in that space. So we definitely might be having a show to kind of talk about that, because I think that's definitely important. And then, of course, Figure Flex Friday, and then back here next Sunday. You already know it is full rotation, man. So thank you guys. So definitely being here and supporting. Any last words for anybody out there? Anybody got to say anything before we dip out?
Are you going to do the? Oh, sorry, Luke.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Chewy. You went first.
Are you going to do the continue on with the Empire Strikes Back next Thursday?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah,
we could do that, and then our conversation about.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'll be here for that one. I'm in.
We'll do that. We'll definitely do that,
right.
because we've been continuing on with everything that kind of trickles down. So I think we're going to go into, because last Thursday's discussion was incredible. So yes, Empire we will be talking about. So definitely, yeah, we'll be doing that.
Yeah. So
Lou,
what I wanted to say is this: it is the month for men's mental health awareness. So this is the perfect opportunity to make sure that you reach out to your fellow brethren, right? Talk to them, ask them if they're okay, and even if they say they are, make a day to go and chill, because we know the code words. We know what it means to say we're okay, right? If we say, oh, I'm fit as a fiddle, this is going on, you start talking out the whistle, we already know that we're good. But if it's one word answer, you know something's up. Go reach out, pull the mother flower out of the fields and say, yo, we're gonna go and do some stuff. You know what I mean? Let's go grab a bite, let's go talk and chill. This is perfect for that. It's Father's Day. Do your due diligence, reach out to your boys, reach out to your family members, wish them a happy Father's Day. Even the ones who could do the littlest because it's beyond their control. The fact that they do this much and it's beyond their control, you got to give them props. You got to give them props.
Yeah.
And third,
absolutely,
it's a hobby. The hobby shouldn't be the addiction. The passion should lead you to perfection.
Yeah. Appreciate that, bro. Good words, man. Definitely good words, man. Definitely appreciate that, man. Thank you for that as well. And everybody out there, man. Remember, again, she said, Lumi said, remember, post Okoye on Juneteenth. We're actually flooding hot toys with Okoye on Juneteenth, so definitely do that. But yeah, man, thank you so much, everybody out there. Again, once again, happy Father's Day to everybody out there again. And every platform, everybody who's basically watching. Again, if you are a father out there, even if you're basically standing in for a father that has either been deceased or one that's just vacant, happy Father's Day to you too as well. And again, mental health month, men's mental health month. I do want to actually speak to that as well, because that's very important. Check on your friends, your loved ones, your brothers, everybody out there. Make sure you do, because you never know. Just a few words may help. Just a few words may help within that space. So definitely give a shout out, man. But great show, everybody. Again, we will be back next week. Ben, once again, bro, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. And a great way to start the show. Congratulations once again to Calvin on finally getting them Ghostbusters in, man. I know you excited as fuck about that shit.
This is just patience finally,
paying off.
Yeah. I've had every one of you fuckers send me different links.
I'm with you.
For $4,000 for a fucking 4-pack. I'm like, I'm not paying that shit. I won't get them, and I'm just not gonna get them. And then
stay cool for long enough.
Star A's came out with their shitty ones. Present toys. They're cool, but that ain't it either. So I'm just happy. Just waiting finally paid off. That's
when you'll be tempted by the dark side,
right?
You don't know the power of the dark side.
That's the lizard. That's the what we call the trailer park lizards that's chilling in the cut.
There you go. I'm about to start doing the Roger Rabbit right now with Bobby Brown. Just so y'all know, that's how I'm feeling on the inside. Eddie Murphy's Karate Man.
I bruise on the inside.
Bruise on the inside.
You would know that because y'all big Barry White.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Another successful show. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we are out.